This is Kobe St. Hilaire from New Milford, and you are watching All In on NJIC Football.
And we are live on another edition. Kobe St. Hilaire is right. We are live on another edition of All In on NJIC Football. Kurt Valenti, Jennifer Valenti, how are you?
Good. I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you?
I am very well. Thank you for to our backstage producer, Sean Murphy, with fixing up the audio for us. So it sounds a lot better than last week.
Made it a little bit better. Thank you so much, Sean.
Thank you, Sean. I know he doesn't have his mic. He's working on a desktop tonight. So he's with us. So anything he'll put in the comments. If he wants to chat, you'll say hello. But thank you, Sean. Jen, playoffs are here. We have an NJIC champion. We have some other non-playoff matchups that are great matchups this week. And we have a huge slate tonight. So let's tell the audience what we got going on tonight.
We have a lot. We have, we're going to start with Wallington, another NJIC team that we wanted to bring in and highlight and talk about their season. We are going to talk to the NJIC champion, Butler. We're going to do a little touch base with St. Mary's ahead of non-public B play, but with a big win. And then we're going to talk to everybody who's made the playoffs. So our guests will be, every team was invited to be on if they got a state tournament berth. So we're going to bring people in really quickly, coach, players. We're excited. We got a lot of guests to welcome.
Yeah.
Before we go any further, let me just thank our sponsors.
Yes,
I want to thank our sponsors, Red's Restaurant and Beer Garden, the Roosevelt. We want to thank Puppies and Tattoos, Dog Grooming Services. We want to thank Villa Italia in Lyndhurst, and of course, Lion Coffee in Hawaii.
Mr. Kirkpatrick, the chat's running in. We got a bunch of people checking in. Mr. Kirkpatrick, good evening, Jen and Kurt. Looking forward to an amazing show as always. And we always get Mr. Kirkpatrick's picks, but he will be coming on live with us tonight from Maryland. So anybody,
the quote unquote guest picker.
So all the people when he picks against them and they don't know what he looks like, they're gonna see who he is tonight.
Put a face to the name.
They're gonna see who he is tonight. All right, Jen. So first and foremost, listen, NJIC championship game last week. Congratulations to both teams. Rutherford played had a great performance, but Butler, Jen, back-to-back NJIC champions. What's your thoughts real quick on that game?
Wow. What a game. I mean, it's just, hats off to Butler, back-to-back. Rutherford play. I mean, you look at some of the stats, from the Rutherford kids, and it's just they played a great game. I know it didn't go the way they wanted to. It was a fun game to watch. It really was, and to see two teams battle out the way they did, two good coaching, a well-played game. I mean, it was just. I know, like when you're on the losing end, you don't want to hear it, but it was really, like, from a spectator's perspective, a fun game to watch. And from what we do, the culmination kind of the NJIC, it just really was, two really good teams, two really good programs. Rutherford will be back. That is for sure.
Before I get my some comments coming in, Patrick, our good friend Patrick Welch, you mentioned him, Lion Coffee, the man. He was on with us last night.
Let me throw up the, what I did forget to do is throw up the coupon code that he has generously let us use. So if you want to order Lion Coffee, right, lioncoffee.com, discount code for 10% off is Patrick10.
And you know what? He has just been so generous, right? Giving all the coaches, all our guests coffee. And again, he's the man. And I know he's happy because you know what? He's a Bronco fan like me, and we are one of the hottest teams in the league. So he is happy. Kenny saying, congrats to Butler. First half was a success. Now finish the second half and get the state championship. Jen, that game started off beautiful for Rutherford, right? A 3-and-out when you hold Butler to 3-and-out. Came down, fourth down. It was a fourth down. Great play call by Rutherford. Punch it in, play action pass. I think it was Nunziata that got in. Rutherford had the lead. Butler again comes back. So listen, that game was nipping, that game was close throughout the game. And then listen, Butler made some great plays. They kind of like contained David Smith earlier in that game, rushing. So, hey, Butler had to go to their passing game.
That's the thing, they were able to.
And they were able to do it. A lot of
different contributors.
Listen,
and yeah.
I've always said this, Jen. When you could do it like that, sometimes you just got to tip your hat and say, hey, listen, you guys were the better team and Butler was the better team. But I got to tell you, Miles Balkin, unbelievable game passing, running. I think he ran for 93 yards at a touchdown. I think he had 3 touchdowns, 2 passing, 1. Listen, I'm just going to say this. They have a lot to play for now in a section. Listen, they could win their section. They can. But I'm going to tell you this right now. They're hands down the favorite going into next year. I know we're not talking next year, but this team will be back next year, Rutherford. And I'm going to say they're the favorites right now if we had to pick a favorite. So, but again, they have a lot still to play for this year. A lot.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Well, let's get into a little around the NJIC before we welcome in our first guest.
All right, Jen, give me your most dominant team last week.
I mean, how can I not go with Butler? You know, I know the score is not indicative, you know, the 47-20 final is not indicative how close a game it was. But as you mentioned, you know, Rutherford's game plan had to be to try to take away David Smith, right? Which, as you alluded to, they did. But you know what? Butler just had different kids step up, you know, and when they took away David Smith, they were able to, other kids got it done. You know, you said anybody but David Smith. I don't know if that one week you said that about Butler.
No,
I don't remember
week.
which week it was. But you know what? They did. And then, you know, it enabled David Smith to do his thing. So I'm going to go with Butler for my most...
Our good friend Keith Brugman. Good evening, Valentes, checking in from Montana. Albert Knoppers. Have a good show tonight. Bunch of, looks like, I think some Wallington guys in, you know. So Ernie Mays, go Broncos country only. Hello, Jen and Kurt. I'm going the same thing with you, Jen. I'm going Butler. I mean, listen, you had 2 unbelievable programs. And you know what? If you really think about it, I believe they're like, were they the last 5 champions in the NJIC? If I'm not mistaken, between those 2, right? I mean,
1, 2. Did
I think
Butler have 3 in a row?
No, 2. I think Rutherford had the 3 in a row.
No, I know Butler had 2. I'm saying, did Rutherford have 3 in a row?
I think they did.
Prior to
so
that?
I think they did. So
yeah.
Listen, that, I mean, you know, to win like that, like you said, it was more than, hey, we're just going to run David Smith. We had to go to the pass game. Their defense came through. And again, listen, Rutherford played well, right? Rutherford moved the ball. Rutherford, you know, ran the ball well. They threw the ball well. I mean, had a couple turnovers and stuff like that. And again, they're a younger team, and hey, they're going to learn. But again, like this, like both of these teams are positioned very well, not just to have a good postseason, like to win a sectional championship. Both of them are in great position to do this.
Okay. Next.
Give me a sleeper.
Sleeper for what?
Your sleeper last week. Your surprise. Sleeper surprise.
Sleeper surprise. Oh, I don't know if I have a sleeper surprise. You kind of threw me off with that one. That's not really how.
What surprised you last week? Give me a surprise from last week.
I'll go with Becton Woodridge, actually.
Okay.
You know, I think that not that I wasn't expecting that outcome. I said it could have gone either way, but you know what? And the Becton defense, I mean, I just feel like every week stronger and stronger and stronger. And to shut out that Woodridge offense was impressive. So that was my surprise.
Okay, that's a good one. That was on my list, but I'm going to go Lyndhurst. Not just because Lyndhurst won, how they won it. I think it was 35-6 or 35-7. Held Patrick Randolph, I believe. That was like 54 yards. They threw the ball. We're going to have Bellinger on tonight, which was, listen, the best performance they've had passing, I think, this year. Cano had a big game. So I'm going to say Lyndhurst.
Okay.
Jen, give me a team that's heading in the right direction going into the postseason.
Oh, I'm going to go with Waldwick. I'm going to go with Waldwick on that one. Just, you know, and you know what? I keep saying this. We had Dylan Ferrara on a couple of weeks ago. And like when you talk about locked in, you know, like and I think they've won, is it 5 in a row now?
5 in a row.
Yeah. So I'm going to go Waldwick.
Yeah, I'm with you. Listen, a lot of points. Listen, you know what they want to do. They want to run it between him and Luciano Mayer, and they've been doing it. No one's been able to stop him. Hey, they're going to be facing a great defense this week in the playoff game, a rematch of a week 0 low-scoring game. And listen, one of the better defenses in this conference is Glen Rock, and now they're going to get another crack at Dylan Ferrara in this rushing offense. Yeah. Real quick, Jen, give me one game that's, again, I always say this, a postseason game. Give me one game on this slate that you want to say.
This slate.
Yes.
Looking ahead this week.
This week.
Oh my gosh.
Real quick, while you're thinking, there's our good friend Zach from Big State Sports, and this is great news.
Oh, hi, Zach.
We've got some fun NJIC teams on our air this weekend. That is awesome.
Awesome.
Listen, I'm not going anywhere. I'm telling you right now. I will have Zach, the 3-4 TVs will be set up. we'll be raring to go. I watched what game did they have last week? Did they had the Woodridge Beckton game on? And did they have the Walling? Did they have the Walter? I thought they definitely had the one game on. I know that they definitely had the. I was watching the Beckton and Woodridge game on them. But thank you for joining us, and definitely we're looking forward to Zach. We will be looking forward to. We'll be grabbing him throughout the playoffs for more coverage and stuff like that. Grabbing some of their guys, hopefully to get some of their input. But they do a great job there.
You know what I love about this is how many NJIC matchups you had posed that question a few weeks ago, like what didn't happen that you'd like to see, and some of them came to fruition in the group 1 and group 2 brackets. So I'm gonna go with Waldwick and Glenrock and Woodridge and Hasbrook Heights is my 2.
And there's some breaking news from Zach. They've got Beckton in Hanover Park and Hoboken and Rutherford.
Oh, awesome. Oh, that should be good.
Well, I tell you, listen, our brother-in-law Mike said, I want to go to Hoboken and Rutherford. We don't have to now. He can just watch. We can watch it. He can watch
How about you? Which games are you looking for?
Oh, I mean, Jen, I said it last week. The game, Woodridge Heights. I mean, the rivalry right down the street. The amount of athletes. We can go through the names. I'm looking forward to that game. Zach saying you all do an awesome job and would love to come back on the show. Absolutely. We'll reach out. We're going to take you up on that 100%.
I mean, you got Pagoda New Milford's the 4 or 5 seeds in North 1, Group 1. You got, I mean, Rutherford drew a tough draw with, as you're just talking about, with Hoboken. But I think
that's going to be a great game.
Undefeated Hoboken. I think that's going to be a good
game. 1-loss Rutherford and undefeated Hoboken, Jen.
But we need to move along because we have our guests ready and waiting to come in. So let's roll in with our first guests here that have been waiting so patiently for us here. So we have a lot of people in the waiting room today, so I just want to make sure I get the correct people in here. So let me bring in Coach first, and then I'll get his players in to join him. Hi, Coach. How you doing?
Good. How are you? Thank you for having us.
Our pleasure. We are joined by Coach Avedizian. Am I saying your last name correctly, Coach?
That works. Avedizian.
No. Thank you. And we're going to bring in his 2 players, Jordan and Carol. So let me bring them in as well if you want to get started, Kurt.
Yes, Coach. Congrats on the big win versus Lodi last week. And you guys have also played some close games, especially the 3 before the Lodi game. So how much better has this team gotten since the beginning of the season?
Yeah. I mean, we've been telling our kids, and anybody who follows us closely and attends our games can attest to. Our record certainly is not indicative of how we've played. We're a couple turnovers away from having 4 or 5 wins. So, it could be a little discouraging at times, but recently, and all credit to the kids, they've never quit one step of the way. We've been able to get a big win last week, and we're hoping to end the season on the right note tomorrow night.
I'm sorry. Can real quick with Coach. Coach, real quick, and you talk about some of those games because I know we've watched it, right? Like I watched the St. Mary's game, I watched the Woodridge game, and you guys played very well in those games. I mean, especially offensively. I mean, you guys gave those teams fits. You were in those games later in that second half. So, like I said, when I say you guys had some really good games, you guys did. You guys are, like you said, you're close.
Well, you know what? I had a question for you later, Coach, that kind of piggybacked off you said. So if you don't mind, I'm going to jump to that now. Like how close your opening game was against Brewerly, who's a state tournament team, right? You guys had a win in that game. So how close do you feel you are to becoming like a state playoff team?
Yeah, I think we're right on the doorstep. Unfortunately, like I said before, turnovers are the name of the game. We had a couple costly turnovers in some big spots. We had a kick blocked as regulation expired in Saddlebrook. So unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't always go your way, but we have a big freshman class we're really excited about. And these two seniors I have here tonight have done a great job being leaders every step of the way. And, are going to be a big reason why the program has success in the future.
Awesome. My next question is for Jordan. Jordan, you guys have Pal Park up next, who's been playing well as of late. Can you talk a little bit about the matchup?
I feel like it's definitely going to be a hard-fought match. Probably going to be tight the whole way through. But I think we've done a very good job preparing in a short week to do what we got to do to get the job done.
I'm going to go to both of you guys, Jen, so you can just tell me what order it is. So, how important is this game, not just for you guys to, as seniors to finish out, for all the seniors to finish out their football career the right way, but also for the underclassmen, like to get a jump on next season already?
Jordan, we'll start with you.
I think this is like a very important game. I mean, it doesn't matter for like playoffs, but it's definitely good for to build off for next year if we go out winning, and then it's definitely a great way to send off the seniors who have worked so hard every year, every off season. We just work countless, so it's good to see it pay off here in the end.
And how about you, Carol?
I would say it definitely gives motivation to the freshmen for next year and all the other underclassmen because obviously previous years we haven't had that many wins, unfortunately. So to be able to go out on a winning streak with Lodi and then Pal Park, it would give motivation to the players and build to next season.
Coach, I was wondering if you could highlight some of the players, if you want to start with, Justin and Carol, but then some other players on your squad who've been working hard for you this season.
Yeah, I have these two here specifically because, this senior class, I feel a really close connection with. They were freshmen when I first took over, so they're my guys, my group. But these two specifically are the ultimate. It's rare and rare that you see, throwback kids back to when, we were playing football. Just yes, coach guys. That's what these two embody. Whatever I ask of them or coaches asking them, you're never going to hear any talk back. Just put their head down, yes, coach, and go to work. And they've done a great job being leaders for our entire program. Other than they both had outstanding seasons individually, but we've also had huge contributions from Jason Mallon, Oscar Martinez, our Jeremy Abreu. Our offensive line as a whole has been a real bright spot for us, and a group I take pride in. Being a former offensive line at the collegiate level. Really proud of those guys. I can go on and on. Contributions from the Miller twins as well. Max Letzum, senior receiver for us. Brandon Bradley. And our running backs have been outstanding, especially as of late. Not many people know we actually made a little change to our offensive system the last couple of weeks, and we've seen, two games of 25 plus points. So our running backs, Ibi Hussein, Nick Sinclair, have really led the charge that way and really ignited our offense. So it's been nice to see.
Nice.
Carol, I'm going to come to you. Can you talk a little bit about, your, playing for Wallington, what it means to play for the town of Wallington, and, like how much you guys are going to miss that?
Well, I've been playing and living in Wellington my whole life. Been playing football for Wellington for about like 10 years. So obviously I grew up here. I know everyone in the town. It's a small town. It's a very hardworking town. And when you play for Wallington, you play for everyone in the town that shows up to the games, the firefighters who turn on their sirens when we get a touchdown. And it just means a lot to play for Wallington.
That's great. Coach, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate you taking the time, and good luck to you this week against Pal Park.
Thank you for having us all. We really appreciate it. Go Panthers.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.
Night, guys.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Okay, Jen, there you go, Wallington Panthers. And again, listen, playing well, especially offensively. Like Coach was saying, 25 points. And again, I saw him versus the St. Mary's game. I saw him versus the Woodridge game. And listen, they moved that ball up and down. They had a heartbreaker, like you said, the one versus Wallington, and a couple points away. He said turnovers, a couple points from winning 4 or 5 games. So, like we said, they're close. What's great is, like you said, he's got a great freshman class. And listen, he's setting the standard there. I love how he's like the physicality of the team running the ball. And listen, they're going to be a team to watch going forward.
100%. Glad to see that. Numbers are always, I feel like, just nowadays with all sports. And he's had a good freshman class, and sometimes those numbers really can just make a difference.
I got to tell you, for 30 seconds, a funny story of he mentioned like the fire engines, right?
Mm-hmm.
So coaching at St. Mary's, we played there, every other year or whatever. However, the schedule came out, we played there a lot. So we were always like, if we get those fire engines, you keep hearing that, we better make sure. But listen, that's a great tradition.
And
it is
like as a player there, what that means
yeah,
to you.
But not as an opponent, but
right,
like for them,
yeah,
and
exactly.
for there, it's awesome.
Exactly. That's awesome. All right. Our next guest is our repeat NJIC champions, Coach Luciani of Butler football. So let me grab him, and he is joined by player Evan Croker. So let me get them in here. Hi guys, how you doing tonight?
Jen and Kurt, hello.
Good. Thanks so much for joining us, guys, and congratulations on your back-to-back NJIC championship.
Thank you so much, guys.
I don't even know where to begin, Coach. Listen. When it comes to this, all I got to say is this, Coach. The TV's not there tonight. The TV's right here. So if I'm looking this way a little, I'm multitasking. Okay.
Perfect scheduling. It's halftime. You guys like
exactly.
got me at exactly the right time.
I feel like I see a glow on your wall, Coach.
You're,
as well.
that's the glow of NBC.
I love it. I love the Coach. Next time you come on, I'm going to make you do the little new theme song. So get ready, practice that. You're going to have to sing that one.
I'm ready.
All right. But Coach, real quick, again, guys, congratulations. 2 times NJIC, back-to-back NJIC champs. Can you talk a little bit about the game versus Rutherford? Again, it was a great game, right? You guys, close. Rutherford jumps out. You guys get even, close going in that second half, and you guys pull away a little late. Can you talk a little bit about that game and what it means to win a back-to-back NJIC championship?
Yeah, Rutherford, they were tough. They are well coached, obviously, and they have good players on the field. So early going, they were they really decided they were not going to let David or Yachty run the ball inside, and we made some early adjustments. We were trying to get on the edge, get the ball out of David's hands quickly out to the flats, and Evan made some really, really explosive plays on offense that got us going. And we were in trouble there for a while. I think we went 3 and out 3 times, and they were up 7-0. And we made 2 really, really good defensive stands when they had pushed the ball up the field. And we got out at halftime. It was 13-7, and we made a couple adjustments at halftime. And our kids really came out and asserted themselves in the second half, running and passing, I felt. And, that we just were able to do the things that we wanted to do offensively in the second half. And, again, back to Evan, he had 2 picks in the second half and just played a phenomenal game. And the offensive line blocked, and the running backs ran, and the receivers caught, and the linebackers tackled. So, and it felt really good to walk away with the second NJIC championship. That's for sure.
Nice. Evan, I'm going to come to you. Speaking of your stats from that game, 109 yards receiving, 17 yards rushing, 7 tackles, 2 interceptions, like Coach said, and of course a touchdown. Was this two-part for you? Was this, do you think, one of your best games? And how important did you think it was for you to step up in that championship game?
This was definitely one of my best games. This was a great opportunity to step up and show what we're made of. Speaking of the defensive stats, I think the best part about us is we're very defense. We're always reading our keys. We always execute well offensively. I'm glad our coach and staff and quarterback to make these plays, and this was definitely one of my best games.
Well, congratulations. And you are, we're kind of skipping around here, but you are our top dog of the week. So congratulations. You are Bo's top dog on that performance. So congrats to you.
Thank you.
Evan, I'm going to come to you. Can you talk a little bit about like your feelings, the team's feelings after the game, right? The bus ride home when you get back to Butler. Like, can you just describe that a little when you guys get back and, hey, you gotta take a little bus ride to the Bergen County over here, but you get back, you're NJIC champions back to back. You set out to what you guys, you did what you guys wanted to do. What's going through your mind, and just like, what was the atmosphere?
The thing about playing in Butler is that how many great traditions, like we have songs we play on the bus, we have celebrations at the Rock, we sing our alma mater after the games. I think the special part about being in Butler is like the uplifting feeling after we get a great.
Nice. Coach, I'm going to come to you. So now looking ahead, right, you have state tournament play to look forward to, and you guys have a rematch against Hawthorne. Can you talk a little bit how you think maybe they're different from your first matchup?
They've had Hawthorne has had some unfortunate injuries. They they have some kids who were on the field early in the season who they don't have on the field now. But the Hawthorne toughness and grit that permeates throughout that whole program is still evident when you click on the film. And they play good defense, and their quarterback is an outstanding player, and they have kids who block for him, and he's got some supporting cast around him. So they definitely present some challenges, and we're familiar with each other. We've played each other consecutive years, and even before we moved back into the Meadowlands division, we were game scrimmaging Hawthorne. So there's familiarity between our two programs. And, I was hoping we wouldn't have to repeat any of our games in the States, but this is just the way the cookie crumbles. And, they're a good, tough, hard-nosed football team for sure.
I'm going to go to Evan on this one. This is from one of our sponsors, Patrick. He's got a question. So, Evan, is it difficult navigating your academics and athletics?
No, not really. I think our football schedule provides time to get home academic help in. I don't getting everything done, so I don't think so.
And I have a question for you next, Evan, as well. With the second straight NJIC championship now under your belt, you guys move on to defending your sectional championship. What do you guys think you need to do to accomplish that again?
We need each other game. Every game we need to come into practice, energize, do we need to make sure that we keep the train rolling and make sure we keep executing.
Coach, I'm going to end with you, and I know we talk about this maybe every week, but we're going to do it one more time, right? Talk about David Smith a little bit. Like you said, Rutherford, hey, they held him to 65 yards on 21 carries, right? So what does he do? 9 for 16, 171, 2 touchdowns in the air, and that touchdown run, I believe it was before the half, right? Or was it third quarter or the one before the half where I think it was a fourth down. He scrambles to the sideline, and it's just, he gets.
Yeah, that was the third quarter, Kurt.
The third quarter. And just that run. And it's like, man, I mean, can you just talk about him and just, where, again, you guys have, awesome, a bunch of players, but just where, he's going to end up when it's all said and done, for Butler football history.
I mean, David's the best player in the NJIC. I don't think that there's any question about that. I think he's certainly in the discussion for the best players in Group 1. He's a phenomenal runner. He runs hard with low pad level. He's elusive. He has speed. And on top of that, he's got a great arm. And on top of that, he knows how to read defenses. He knows where to go with the ball. He knows when he's supposed to get it there. And if the play breaks down, he can extend the play. He's just an absolutely complete football player. As far as what David's legacy is going to be in the history of Butler, he has the numbers to back him up as one of the best players ever. I mean, I don't even think it's an argument. He's about to have 1,000 yards rushing, 1,000 yards passing, well over 30 touchdowns. And the numbers were similar last year. So David's one of the best ever. I just don't, you couldn't argue it any other way. So, and I believe it. I know it to be true. He's a phenomenal kid, a phenomenal player, and he's one of the best ever.
So it's safe to say you're probably going to miss him a little bit next year, right?
We're going to miss him a little bit. Evan's a pretty good quarterback himself. You guys might not know that, but
okay.
A little insight.
Evan, I know he's at receiver now, but Evan can sling it a little bit himself. So I'm not trying to compare Evan to David, but we're going to miss David. He's irreplaceable, but we're looking forward to Evan's senior year and the rest of the kids as well next year.
And I think we might have lost Evan there, but Coach, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Congrats again on your back-to-back championships, and best of luck as you move on to defend your sectional title.
Thanks, Jen and Kurt. Appreciate you guys.
Let's go, Knicks, baby.
Let's go.
Let's go. We'll talk to you. All right, there he is, the one and only. See, Coach was looking up on the screen too. So me and Coach, you see, if we both look up a little today, we can't get all. You can't yell at me and say I was looking there because Coach Luciani's doing it. If he is doing it, I can do it. And listen, unbelievable performance by just the whole Butler team last. You know what I'm saying? Back-to-back NJIC championship. And listen, they are. Again, potential. We'll pick later, but hey, they're going after more now. They're going after a section on the state championship. So we'll get to that later on. But congratulations to Butler.
We're going to move on to our next guest is going to be 3 players from St. Mary's. And I know that I want to bring in Jonathan Huertas from St. Mary's, Thomas Messina from St. Mary's. And I think, I'm not sure if Landon is trying to join. I don't know if the room is full. Hi guys, can you hear us okay?
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Welcome back, guys. We're joined by Jonathan Huertas and Thomas Messina of St. Mary's football. Thanks so much for joining us tonight, guys.
Thank you for having us.
I gotta say, watching that game, I was watching it on Saturday. Give a shout out to Bobby Blackjack for stream. Not only was he streaming the game, he was also announcing. So he did double duty. He did a great job on that. But watching the game was an exciting game. Obviously, to you guys score late. Thomas, you score that pass. And I'm going to start this, right? So I'll start with you, Thomas, on this one. Huge win, not just for you guys, but also first your hometown Garfield, right? So was it a little more special, not just to get the win, but, since it was against Garfield?
Absolutely. Going into the week, we knew the deal, we knew the accomplishment, we knew the goals. We set the standard, and we practiced hard all week to do what we did on Saturday.
Jonathan, I'm going to come to you. You had an all-around great game this weekend. You had an interception for a touchdown, a kick return for a touchdown, and you're so explosive offensively. How important is it to do it in all 3 phases of the games like you did this past weekend?
I think it's very important to me and just to the team in general. As you know, my kick return started off early. Kind of got fire around the team, started off strong. We got the energy up, and yeah, I mean,
you know what? I want to go off script with these guys, and I'll start with you, Jonathan. I'm going to get the same thing with Thomas, right? Because you guys are both sensational players, and you guys now are more of the focus of every team. They got to stop, got to stop you. They got to stop Bruin. They got to stop Messina. But last year, right? You guys had so many weapons, right? You guys had, obviously you had Owens and BJ Cunningham, Kazir White and stuff like that. So has it been different for you this year where not that you guys weren't important last year because you guys were, but they also had so many other guys to worry about where this year it's the focus is on stopping you guys. So has it been a little different for you, Jonathan, this year?
I mean, I would say so. I mean, we have me and Thomas, wide receivers dominating on both sides of the ball, but mainly just being able to come down with every ball that's been passed to us. And George Bruin isn't that much different compared to Nasir Owens, I would say. He knows how to run the ball well. He's quick, he's elusive. And yeah.
Thomas, what about you? Little different for you this year, being more of, teams, hey, putting, making sure you don't do stuff and Hortus doesn't do stuff. A little different for you this year?
Yeah, I say it's a little different. Definitely going into every week knowing that they trying to stop me and him. But it's just a bigger role in our play. We've been waiting for it. We were ready,
Well, I'm going to talk to you about being ready, Thomas. Let's talk about the last drive of the game, right? Number 1, did you want the ball thrown to you on that last drive?
Absolutely. I know when the game's on the line, there's a play to be made. I know that I could go do that. So anytime I get to make the game a little easier for my teammates, I could do that.
Nice. And what were you thinking when the play was called and you're one-on-one with the Garfield defensive back?
I'm just thinking it's me versus another person, so I'm going to take me every time.
Let's go to Jonathan on this one. Actually, I'm going to ask you guys a quick. Actually, we have a question from the audience from Dale. And it's a good question. We've never probably had this question on our show,
Okay.
and this is a good thing because you guys play on grass. St. Mary's is a grass field.
Interesting,
So,
yeah.
Jonathan, question: grass, turf. You like one better? What's the difference? And do you prefer playing on one other than the other?
I definitely like turf more. I feel way more quicker. It's easier to make plays on, but I still love our grass field. It's different.
Tell Coach Sheridan, Coach Sheridan, get Coach Sheridan, get Coach Johnson, get you guys turf over there. That's what you guys got to do. I'm going to come to you, Immaculata next, right? Last year, you guys were in a shootout, 49-42. What do you guys have to do different this year that you guys didn't do last year?
Definitely execute on the defensive side of the ball, get stops, make sure our offense could probably jump ahead early. We want to be up in that game. We don't want to get them a chance to control the clock, control the ball, time possession.
You know what? I'm sorry. I'm gonna go to I'm sorry, which one did you just do, Kurt? I was just making sure we had some of our guests lined up because I've
Okay, I'll just get the last
okay.
one. Jonathan, for you, what's your thoughts? Last game, regular season, thoughts, possible playoffs and stuff coming down the line. Like, what do you guys want to do? Not just this week, but going forward, rest of the year.
Well, beating Immaculata will definitely bring us up the seeding. So we would love to beat Immaculata so we could hopefully get a lower seed than us, or just versus easier team compared to Red Bank or any big team in our on Public B.
All right. Good luck, guys. Thank you so much for coming on with us tonight, and good luck to you guys in the non-public B state tournament.
Of course. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, guys. Congrats on the win versus Garfield last week.
Thank you.
Good night.
All right, Jen. So there they are, St. Mary's Gales, John. And I'll tell you what a wide receiver duo. When we talk about, and again, it was, and give Coach Johnson and credit where they put in Cologne at quarterback, they moved Messina the receiver, and what a difference. And adding Bruton, I mean, that didn't hurt either. And now that offense, though, when you have to go and say, how do I cover Hortez? How do I cover Messina? I got to stop a run game. It was, it's different. It's the way it is now. But I got to say, that offense, though, is still lethal. And last year, there was a lot of points. And I think you're going to get a lot of points in this game this week.
I wonder, if that change would have happened, right? If the Huertas injury hadn't happened, and some things like as terrible as it was, for that to happen.
But listen, it happened the way it worked out. And listen, Messina, I mean, loves playing. Not that he loves quarterback, but he loves playing wide receiver. A great wide receiver. Hortez is just all over the field. And listen, that is a big time combination.
So we have, I want to give a little background before we have our next guest in. I did send out the slate to the coaches, and I did probably confuse our next two guests with where they were because I kind of had them, in a different spot, and I think I did confuse them, so I'm going to apologize about that. But
that's a first. You're live on the show. Look at you.
I take ownership if I do something wrong, not a problem. But last week one of our matchups was Becton at Woodridge, and we noticed, right, that Coach Marr posted something on social media about what I think was like a grand gesture in sportsmanship. So we asked both coaches to kind of come in and talk about it. So we're going to have Coach Marr from Becton and Coach Carbone from Woodridge join us now. So let me grab them in here. Hey, Coach Carbone and Coach Marr, thanks so much for joining us.
Hey guys, thanks for having us. What's up, Coach?
Coach Marr.
What's up, Coach?
Coach Marr, I just gave a little background. I don't want to give too much information because I was hoping you would kind of explain the story to us. Like I said, I saw your social media post about the gesture, I'm going to call it, that the Woodridge staff did for you and your family. Would you mind sharing a little bit about the background and what they did?
Yeah, sure. So 5 years ago on October 24th, which is the day we played Woodridge, my brother passed away, and we got to Woodridge a little bit early. That wasn't by accident. We went there, just wanted the kids to feel comfortable being there and walk around the field and everything. And we walk out to the sideline for specials, go to specials pregame, and one of my assistants, Coach Rella, whose brother passed away just a couple months ago, unexpectedly. Also, we walk over, both of their jerseys, both of our brothers' jerseys are on the bench, and I was like, wow. I'm like, see that? He's like, I can't even look over there. I can't even look over there. So so I didn't see it at first, and Coach Rella went over to Coach Carbone. He's like, listen, I don't even know you, but that was like one of the best things you could ever do for someone like that. So just a classy move. So I'm not really a big poster on Facebook unless it's something meaningful, and I just think that something like that needed to be shared. That Coach Carbone and Coach Sink and all of Woodridge, really have the backs of respected people who are also Woodridge people.
And Coach Carbone again, and just an unbelievable gesture from you guys and the whole community and yourself as head coach. So, if you could just talk a little bit about how you got the idea, of who got the idea, and what it meant for you guys to do this for the Beckton staff.
So obviously, Coach Marr is a Woodridge guy, and I had originally saw his the initial kind of from as being the 5-year anniversary, and football is what I feel like brings people together, and for the right reasons, and if it was myself coaching on that night, I could imagine all the emotions that were going through his mind, and being back in a place where obviously he played, his brothers played, it just, I felt like something like that. I wasn't sure how he was going to take it. It wasn't obviously, something that, as far as like publicity, I wasn't looking for that. I just thought it was something maybe that could help him maybe get through, the day, as far as because as a head coach, you got so much going on, and then to think about all that is just, that's a tough thing. I don't know how I would deal with it. So I just thought maybe something like that could help him. And, obviously he's a Woodridge guy, and we're trying to, what we're doing here at Woodridge, I'm trying to keep that all together, the culture, and Woodridge guys look out for Woodridge guys. And so I'm trying to, I just thought that was kind of the right thing to do.
I'm sorry, Coach Twirl's just chiming in saying 2 great coaches right here.
Well, I to piggyback off of that, something that has, I feel like, struck both Kurt and I just doing the show is the camaraderie amongst the coaches. What the respect you guys show for each other. And Coach Carbone, Coach Marr, I wasn't involved, and I saw your post, and I was touched. So I can only imagine how you must have felt. So thank you for sharing your story. I wanted make sure that it was something you were comfortable with. But and I think it's just such a great lesson for the players on your teams too, that it extends such a life, that's life lessons right there, what the playing high school sports is all about. So thank you guys for sharing. But
Coach Marr, I'm going to come to you real quick. So now getting back to the football thing, I mean, I don't think there's been a team that's had just so much pressure. I mean, both you guys, but especially you, Coach, right? You got the Lyndhurst game, then you got the Garfield game, then you have an NJIC playoff game, then you got to go to Woodridge and win that game. So, and now you get Hanover Park, right? So congratulations on getting in, right? I know you said beginning of the year you didn't know what to expect from this team, but hey, and the way you started and the way you finished, right? I mean, it just, you guys are going up and up and getting better and better. So just your thoughts on where you guys are and how far you guys come, and what you guys, what you think about Hanover Park a little bit.
I think from our first game in Hoboken, literally 2 months ago today, until today, we are a totally different football team. We had a lot of inexperience from start to start the season. And obviously they have no choice but to get experience as we go. And we've grown as a team. This is one of my most fun coaching years ever, because all the kids get along. Like they all have each other's back. There's no fighting about who's getting a ball, who's not getting a ball, who's playing, who's not playing. We have scout team kids that are just, they show up every day, and they make everybody better. As far as Hanover Park goes, they're loaded. They're fast, they're strong, they're very well coached. Quarterback's phenomenal. Running back's phenomenal. They go at a very high pace on offense. They fly on defense. But you know, we're never scared. You know, like we'll see what happens. But the kids will be prepared, and we'll see what happens.
And Coach, you can't keep some information from me. I heard through the grapevine you're a diehard Nick fan too. I got to get that information, Coach. I know. I know. I got to get that information, Coach. I just got it 2 weeks ago, and now I said, "Oh, that could change a lot of things."
That changes everything.
Changes everything.
Yeah, I'm a big basketball guy. Actually, I started coaching high school basketball before I coached high school football. I coached under Eddie Rock Renzio to start my career, and then football came along. I mean, I love football. I mean, I probably love the sport of football better, but I started loving basketball first, and I'm a big time Knicks guy and a big time Michigan guy, as you can see. Football and basketball.
I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Carbone, a couple weeks ago, Kurt had posed a question to me about like what would be one of the NJIC matchups that I'd love to see, or a game that we're looking forward to. And you know what? Woodridge Heights was a matchup that we had talked about. I don't know, it was either on the show or off the show because we
it was on.
We also talk about these off the show, so sometimes I get confused. But we've definitely talked about this being a matchup we would like to see. So can you tell us a little bit about like how you're preparing for a team like Hasbrook Heights?
Listen, I think as far as them on film, they're extremely well coached, and obviously they have, you know, their staff is very well rounded. They got a couple guys that have been head coaches, you know, before in other places, so obviously that experience helps when you're game planning for, you know, for other teams, and I think that shows the way they execute. Obviously, everyone knows that Capitano. Obviously, I mean, he's phenomenal. He's outstanding. Like he gets one break, he can rip off a big one, and I think that's the part. You know, obviously, I'm a defensive guy, so watching an offense like that, just knowing that they have that big playability, you just got to try to limit him as much as you can. And like I said, they're very well coached, so we'll see. I mean, our kids are excited about it. Obviously, you know, the last 3 games haven't really went in our favor. So I think our kids are a little, you know, I think they're ready to bounce back. I feel like, you know, they've poured their heart out the last couple weeks, and I told them that sometimes in football things don't go your way, and you just gotta keep fighting, keep battling. I mean, look at Becton, like you guys just said. I mean, they've had a great run here, and credit to those guys from last week. They took it to us, and you know, your kids, they played so hard. So you know, we just been on the unfortunate other end of that. So going into Heights, obviously, I told them the big thing is, if especially for seniors, if you want to end your career like on a game, like to go into a place like that and play there, that's why you start. Like I pointed at the little kids today at the end of practice and said, "You remember when you guys were here? Now you're at the tail end of your career, and you get to go to Heights in front of a packed house and play." So that's football. That's what makes it fun and exciting. So I think our kids are ready and our coaches are ready, and we'll see what happens on Friday.
All right, Coach Carbone, Coach Marr, thanks again so much for joining us, for sharing the story. And of course, good luck to you guys as you embark on state tournament play.
Thanks a lot, guys. And Coach, just wanted to mention, no pressure, but Woodridge has not beaten Heights since 1987.
I've heard that. I think a lot of people are throwing that out there. Also, by the way,
some of our teams were close, but damn, man.
Yeah. Also, by the way, I am a Michigan fan and a Knicks fan as well. So we got.
Listen, we were saying about something.
To host like
we got to do it. Yeah, we do. Playoff watch. That's what we got to do.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
I love it.
Thank you again, and good luck, guys.
All right, guys.
Have a good one, guys.
Appreciate you guys.
I mean, this is up my alley. Coach Farrell's a Knicks fan too. I love this. You're right. You know what, Jen? We're doing it. We're doing a watch party. That's it. We are doing a watch party. It's a done deal. Where are we gonna get? We got pizza. We got Sharky's wings, pizza anywhere we want. I mean, we'll be ready to go.
All right, we are going to move on to our next guest and we are going to be joined from Jason Alvarado of Bogota. So let me bring Jason in with us now. All right, let's see where he is. Hey, Jason, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good, thanks. Thanks so much for joining us. It's so nice to see you.
Of course, thank you.
Jason, I'm going to start with you. First off, congratulations. You guys are having a great season. Won 3 out of your last 4, back in the playoffs. How does it feel?
Yeah, it feels amazing. Pagoda hasn't been to the playoffs since 2014, so it definitely feels good to get there right now.
Your playoff opponent is another NJIC team in New Milford, and we know that their run game is dominated by Kobe St. Hilaire and, of course, the Johnson brothers. How can you guys slow down that run game?
We've been practicing our best, try to get him to maybe not get as much yards, definitely tackle him, not let him get off tackles, stuff like that.
I guess my question for you is, so we talked about, and I know we had Coach Case on, we talked about it with Coach Catrona and stuff like that, but you guys were on the quote unquote road last year, right? You didn't have your field. So can you talk about it from a player perspective? Like, just what does it mean? Like, what did it mean for you guys to get that facility, to play in front of your fans, and just like on one of the now premier fields, not only in the NJIC, but maybe even in the state of New Jersey?
Yeah, it definitely feels amazing. We were supposed to have the field last year, but it ended up getting postponed due to weather and all that type of stuff. So getting the field, especially my senior year, definitely is a great feeling. And now we have the student section and all. We have a lot of fans coming. It feels amazing.
A couple hellos, Jaden Gonzalez with an I, Connor Rice saying what's up, Matthew Harris from. We hear these guys are in their stats every week and stuff like that.
Yep.
I got one more for him. So, when you talk about senior leadership and getting back to the playoffs, right? Like, how important is it not only for you guys, like the players here, but like for the program going forward, like for them to see that, the younger kids, the 7th graders, 8th graders, the freshmen that are in the program, like how important is that?
Yeah, it's definitely very important. We're trying our best. We have a big team full of the captains, a lot of seniors, so we try our best to all stay together and all that type of stuff.
I have one final question for you too. It's a little bit different when you're a senior, right? And you can look back and it's your final. So you should have a different perspective that is, you don't really understand until you are a senior. So thinking back, like how, kind of a 2-part question, how far do you think you've come as like a player, right? And, what do you hope to leave for those younger players?
Yeah. We just hope to leave them with a good season. Try to have them build up and be better than us, obviously.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. I know Coach Case was going to be with you, but he was unable to join us last second. So good luck to you against New Milford this weekend.
Thank you.
Pleasure to have you. Have a good night.
Thank you for joining us. Okay, there's Jason Alvarado, Pagoda, and again, hey, again, this team has been hot, right? One of the better games was the upset versus Woodridge, right? Like that was a kind of an upset, and Pagoda's been in a lot of games. Listen, that St. Mary's game could have went either way and stuff like that, but a great record. Coach Case has them going, believe, and it's going to be a great matchup, right? You got Alvarado and the Gonzalez's, what I'm saying? You got the Johnson brothers, Kobe St. Hilaire. So that matchup is going to have a lot of star power in and it's a playoff game. You know what I'm saying? It's a playoff game. So, and NJIC teams.
Well, you know what? That is a great segue into our next guest. We're going to have New Milford, and we're going to be joined by senior captain Jake Johnson. So let me get Jake in here with us. Hey, Jake, how you doing? Oh, we can't hear you. I'm not sure if you're muted. No good. Can you hear us? We can't hear you though. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe he can go out and come back in.
Jake, if you want to go out and come back in, we'll try it that way. I hope the room isn't full here for him.
Oh,
yeah.
Jason, there we go. We hear you.
All right, we're good.
Okay.
All right. Welcome. We are joined by Jake Johnson, senior captain from New Milford. Thanks, Jake, for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Jake, so you guys won 4 of your last 6. How do you guys feel going into the postseason?
I mean, we're all super excited. I mean, we're all like super dialed and locked in, and we can't wait for Friday.
Love it. Love it. I love the, dialed in. You guys drew, as we were talking to, Jason Alvarado,
Alvarado.
excuse me, before, you guys drew a fellow NJIC opponent. What are your thoughts on Bogota, and what do you guys need to do to be ready for them?
I mean, coach has been drawing up stuff, and we just got to listen to what he says. He always gives us a great game plan, and honestly, going with like a hard nose, we just got to be physical, and their quarterback, he's a good player, so we honestly just got to all go in with confidence and just, yeah.
You know what? When you use the word physical, right? And every time we talk about New Milford here, we think, I mean, listen, I know it, like, you guys are a physical team, right? You guys want to run the ball. And I love it. What do I always say, Jen? Run the ball, play defense, man.
Absolutely.
Like, that's just, listen, it's how you win championships. It is. And, your running game now with yourself, and you guys get, obviously, Kobe St. Hilaire in there. And that combination is just, listen, it's an unbelievable running game. So can you talk a little bit about your running game now with you two guys?
So getting him back was a great addition to the team. I mean, I was taking snaps as tailback at the beginning of the year, and now with him coming back, I also get a breather for defense now. And just with me lead blocking, I was more of a lead blocker last year, and I mean, it's been working great so far. He's got us 1,000 yards last game. And I feel like we also run with Danny May too. He's also in the mix. They were lead blocking, and I feel like with us three back there and our great O line, I mean, we're gonna be set for Friday, I think.
Wait a minute. How much of a break can you get? You make a block, he runs it for 80 yards. You're back on the field. You're back on the field again. Like that's what it's been doing.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even have that small break though.
Yeah, that's it.
Jake, I'm going to go a little off script here. We had Coach Luciani from Butler on before, and he was saying how he was hoping he hadn't drawn someone they'd seen before. Now, even though you guys haven't seen Bogota this year, right, it is an NJIC opponent. How do you guys feel, just from a player's perspective, right? Like, it's state tournament time. I'm sure, you're whoever we play, but do you mind drawing an NJIC team? Do you hoping that you draw somebody like new that you haven't seen, or is there an advantage to drawing an NJIC team? How do you guys feel about that?
I mean, I think we all think we'll go up against any team. I mean, and they're right down the road too, so it's a nice close match. Hopefully there's gonna be a lot of people there.
I got one more for him, and I mentioned this to Kobe when he was on, right? Is you guys are hot now going into the postseason. Hopefully you guys make a nice little postseason run. And again, I think the standard you guys now have set, and he's coming back next year, and you guys have nice underclassmen. Like, how bright would you say the future is for New Milford football?
I think with our new coach and all the all the younger guys coming up and all that, I think they're gonna have a great season next year. And with the following years, we have a great junior football team down there too. I feel like whole town's into it. I mean, we all bet like a bunch of the junior football guys up to games, and I feel like New Milford just has that atmosphere that I feel like a lot of towns have in Bergen County. With New Milford, I feel like a lot of guys appreciate what the town does behind them.
Jake, we got a question from Dale saying, can you ask Jake if he knows who's the best ever running back in New Milford? He said, hint, he played at Cornell and the Minnesota Vikings.
That'd be Ed Marinero.
Okay.
Nicely.
There's a lot of great running backs, though. I mean, Jeff Bliss, AJ Scopa, Christian Correa. There's a lot of good guys.
You know what? They always, when I mean, I remember those two names that you just said, because when I was coaching, it was AJ Scopa. Who was the one you said before that?
Jeff Bliss.
Yeah. Like those guys, like there's always that running back in New Milford. It really is. It's like, like we say, like linebacker you is like like running back you. It really is. And listen, you're part of it. You and St. Hilaire now. You guys got an unbelievable run game, the dominance, like you said, the physicality. I mean, listen, I love that style. So I love that.
Jake, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was really a pleasure to have you, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Good luck this week.
Good night.
Good night.
Dale saying correct, so he was all over that. But Jen, listen, like that's going to be a great matchup, right? And another game where we were just mentioning, and again, like Woodridge Heights, we're going to talk about, right? But here's another one again, like we just said, Jake, St. Hilaire, right? You got the Gonzalez, Alvarado, just the star power in these playoff games and again, it's great for us because it's, we've covered them, we've watched them, and now to go. The thing that's bad is like, this is it. There's no tomorrow. You win, you advance, you go home. But listen, that's going to be a physical game there. very physical game.
All right. Well, the next guest we would like to welcome is Sea Caucus, and I do see Coach Kerry in our waiting room. I'm going to bring him in, and I just want to make sure who else we can maybe expect. We have a lot of people in the waiting room, so I want to make sure that we don't have. Hi, Coach. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Thanks so much for joining us. I just want to make sure that I have. I didn't know. Is Coach Voorhees going to be joining us?
He might be. I think he was trying to get on, but I'm not sure if he is.
Okay. And then did you guys have a player as well, or was it going to be just the two of you guys?
I believe it might have been Brandon Vega, but I don't know if he would be getting on right now.
You know,
Okay.
if I can ask just some of the people in the waiting room, if that's okay, if you're a little later time, you know, I know we're a little behind schedule, but if somebody could, if you're a little later one, like our North 2 Group 2 teams, and then if you want to rejoin so we can get our guests who haven't been on yet, our North 2 Group 1 and North 1 Group 2. So thanks, Coach. We'll maybe get you up. I see Brandon in there. All righty, let's get Brandon in with us as well. He was able to join.
And
All
there's Coach Voorhees.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. All right, the gang's all here. Hi, Coach. Welcome. Coach Voorhees, can you hear us?
I hear you.
All right, great. And Brandon, welcome back as well. So nice to see you guys. Thanks for joining us.
Brandon's been with us like 10 times this year, right?
We've got some regulars.
Yeah, I love it. I'm going to start with Coach Voorhees. How great is it to be back in the NJSI AA playoffs?
Been a while, I'll tell you that. 2013, we played New Providence in Sea Caucus in the first round. So this will be the third time we played New Providence, but the last time we were in 13, it was New Providence at home.
Coach, isn't it funny how you sometimes just like always draw the same team? Isn't it funny how that works? I feel like that used to happen to me too. And I'd be like, can we draw someone else, please?
You know, and the thing is, you know, this Section 2 thing, if you think about it, it changed, right? The snaking,
Yep.
it changed this year. So we're technically back in what we used to remember as Section 2, which we, at that time, Cedar Grove, Mountain Lakes, New Providence, Verona. I can go down a list. We would be undefeated in the 5 seed. We couldn't even get a home game back then. Now you look at the NJIC, a lot of us are getting home games, you know, and I believe there'll be 14 NJIC teams in the playoffs this year. Out of 25. Wow. That's pretty good. St. Mary's would be one.
Yep. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Coach Kerry, I'm going to come to you. Speaking of New Providence, the opponent that you guys drew, can you tell us a little about them as a team and their strengths?
I mean, they're very well coached. Obviously, they have obviously a great program for many years, and it's going to be a good game. I think you know, we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be a little test for everybody, because I think we've been tested, they've been tested, and we'll be able to put our best foot forward. But they're definitely very well coached. A lot of very good skill players. Their line is very good. So we'll see.
Brandon, I'm going to come to you, and again, welcome back. You're definitely part of our. I would say he's part of the family here. He's here every week now.
Thank you.
You know, 2 in a row. How are you guys? We heard from the coaches, but as a player and from leader on the team, how are you guys feeling heading into the postseason?
It's kind of like an emotional week for us, especially as seniors, because you know when you're in the playoffs, you never know. Like Curry said, you never know when it's going to be your last game. But you know, we're gonna go out there and we're gonna play our hardest, and we're gonna have fun while doing it. And you know, I love competition. I'm not too worried about New Providence. They're a great team. Don't get me wrong, but I just gotta do my thing and just play tough, and we'll see what happens at the end of the game.
Nice. Coach Voorhees, last week was kind of like a defensive battle between you guys and Cresskill, right?
Yeah.
How confident are you in your defense going into the state tournament after a performance like that?
You know, Curry and I, we tend to spend our day sometimes talking about what we're up against and how we're gonna figure this out. But one of the things the two of us, we really learned about football with the girls, and I know it sounds crazy, but that girls flag football did something for both of us, and it just makes you think differently. Although there's only 7 players, it's all skill football. So part of what we devise together involves a lot of things that we got to just get guys into a spot. And we've been really working at that. So, you go back and look at our schedule. There was not a week off from the minute it started. I mean, Powell Park got better each week. They gave Kreskill a heck of a game. And then you look at who our division is. You're talking, Saddlebrook is extremely good.
Yep.
And people don't realize it. Hawthorne in the playoffs. Butler, Heights, need not say more. New Milford, and now Secaucus. You're talking about a lot of playoff teams, 5 out of 6.
Yep.
So we've been down that road. Then you look at our crossover, but go to playoff team, and Kreskill just missed the playoffs of Group 2. So tested each and every week. So as far as how we do things or what we're going to do, Brandon said it best. Since the day the building was built, Secaucus has tough kids, and we thrive on that. And even in the lean years, as they would be called, we still played tough. So that's never going to really change.
So, Coach Voorhees, you just didn't give a secret out on our show, did you? Like, teams shouldn't be going and filming your girls' football flag team to get some.
Let me tell you
insight.
something, okay? I'm going to give Curry a lot of credit on this, okay? We lost the girls' flag game 40-0 against Harrison. A week later, not even, we had to play them again. But at the end of that game, we started to think, what if we start doing something? And then all of a sudden, that next game, we beat them. I give Curry a lot of credit on that. I mean, we don't listen. That girls' flag has changed football for us in some ways.
That's awesome.
It's been a lot of fun, but the strategy.
The other person in your screen has changed the game a lot too. As long as we give him the ball, I think we'll be all right.
Well, I'm just going to say this from watching you guys. I'll tell you this: you guys are going to be bringing physicality in this playoff game. I'll tell you, you guys are a physical team, and you know what? When you're a physical team, I say this on every level: high school, college, pros. If you're physical, you have a shot in every game. You really do.
Yes, that is correct. And we want to tackle, we want to run the football, and we want to ultimately be the most physical team on the field. And I think for the most part, we've been that this year, and that's that's the reason why we're here for the first time in a while. And it's a credit to not only Brandon and all the seniors and all the kids who've been there, but it's a credit to Coach who's been, we stuck through everything, and it's been a great thing.
Brandon, I'm going to go to you. What has this done? Again, you guys have a lot more football to play, but with what you guys achieved this year for the future of the Secaucus football program, what has this season done for, going forward for the rest of the players and again, kids that are going to be playing for Secaucus going forward?
It kind of gave them a little head start, and hopefully they continue it. Record night against, I think, Coach, was it Saddlebrook? What was recreation night? Saddlebrook?
Yeah.
Just seeing all those younger kids there, it was heartfelt. It was touching all of us, and it was we were in their shoes once. We were at the high school game watching, the high school team play, and we want nothing for the best for them. And I always lived in Secaucus, and I've been playing for this program for a very long time. So I just I would love for all the kids to just keep it going. We had a rough couple of years, and it would be a shame if everything goes downhill. That's not what we want.
Nice. Coach Kerry, Coach Voorhees, Brandon, thank you guys so much for joining us. We appreciate it, and good luck to you this week.
Brandon's one of the best. Vegas, one of the best we've ever had.
Oh, that's awesome.
Really, he's just
he does everything. Coach runs it, catches it, defense. He does everything.
He you know what? He would have still been the kicker if we didn't get Victor the kicker. But he punts. He can do everything. So and Victor the kicker kicked the game winner. So great guy, just a great kid, Vega. And we stood
He
there
is.
when Victor was kicking, and he goes, "Hey, I think I just lost my job."
Well, he gets a break, right? Is he on the extra
He
point
needed a
team,
break.
Coach, or no?
I think he might have been able to win that job back when he needed a break.
There you go.
He doesn't leave the field. He does not leave the field at all.
Doesn't leave the field. No.
That's awesome.
Thanks again.
Thanks,
Thank you, guys.
Good luck,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
There they are, Seahawks Patriots back in the postseason. Jen, listen, when coaching at St. Mary's, I'm telling you, the team every year we had to beat Seahawks, and just had legendary battles with them. I'll be honest, they got the better of us during that run. And but listen, they're back now. Like Coach said, a long time. What was it, 2013? He said, long time for them, but they're back. And hey, excited. Stephen Armstrong checking in. Want to say what's going on, Steve?
All right. So if you're just joining us, we are working our way through the NJIC state tournament teams.
This is what happens when a lot of teams make the postseason, Jen. We got to get everybody in.
Coach Voorhees said it. I think he said it was
14?
14 teams.
That's
there,
crazy.
right? So yeah, we do. We have a lot to get through. So we are going to move on. We're still in North 2 Group 1 team. So we're going to move on to Hasbrook Heights. So let me just make sure. We got a lot of people in the waiting room. I don't want to bring the wrong people in. So let me make sure I get Coach Sarah and Michael Napolitano. All right. Hi, Coach. Welcome. Hi, Michael. Welcome back.
How we doing, guys? Thank you. I'll be back.
All right, we are joined by Hasbrook Heights offensive coordinator Jason Acera and senior running back Michael Napolitano. So thanks again, guys, for being here, and congrats on making the state tournament.
Thank you.
Well, Coach, glad to see you because, as you know, we are great friends with Coach Bertola. And when Jen said, "Oh, they're bringing one of the coordinators," I said, we might have to call you two because if Coach Bertola's on here, we might be blocked by 10 o'clock tonight.
We got to get him on here next week.
Oh, he's got to be on. I got to listen. It's a story. I don't want to wait ticket for time. But I'm going to start with Michael. So, over 2,800 yards now, 31 touchdowns in your career. Not too bad, right? Not too bad. What does it mean to you, and how much, did your teammates throughout since out your career have helped you get to, these astonishing statistics?
Yeah, well, I mean, it means everything. Growing up, Heights is known for having a great running back room always. Like wherever any year you look at, they have a running back who's taken over. So growing up, watching I'll say name Anthony Delasio, watching him play, it kind of makes you it's inspiring, right? So it means everything to me. And then for my teammates wise, they've been nothing but supportive, and every day at practice, we know what we have, what we're capable of, and they support me, and everyone supports each other. So I think they've played a really big role in my success.
Nice. Coach, I'm going to come to you. Coach Sari has expressed, as he was telling me a little bit about you and that you were going to be joining tonight, he made sure that he said how grateful he was for you to be on staff. I think on their side is how he phrased it, actually. And, he gives you a lot of credit for getting the Aviator run game going, right? How nice is it for you to have I feel like every week we just talk about the weapons that you guys have, right? So how nice is it when you're game planning to know that's what you have to work with?
Well, it definitely makes our job a lot easier when you got weapons like Mike Knapp, Nick Haynes, Nico Nipotel, Brady Shine, all different guys like that. As far as game planning goes, but it's a great place to work with Eddie. I'm glad that I was able to hook up with him and, get into that spot at Heights. And when I first got there, I remember watching film and looking on film, and I was like, who's this kid number 4? He was a sophomore at the time. And I'm just like, this kid, I was looking at the stats. I'm like, why didn't he get the ball more? I said, I'm calling Eddie, and I'm like, look, this kid's got to get the ball. We got to throw him the ball. We got to hand the ball off, jet sweep, whatever we got to do. We decided to put him in the backfield. And, the last 2 years, you can see what he's done. It's been like I said, it's made our job easier as coaches.
Well, I gotta tell you, being an offensive guy and loving offense, I love watching you guys play offense. It's just like you said, it's like jet sweeps to him, and it just you guys are unbelievable, the talent. And just for Michael, I want you to know, Coach Carbone, when we had him on before, he just paid you the ultimate respect for saying, we asked about the Heights town. He said, somebody like Napolitano, he said, I mean, this guy can, anytime you touch the ball, you're cringing because he can go 80 anytime. So, hey, when other coaches are seeing it. By the way, we have to fix something. How do you say your last name?
Oh yeah, I actually
Michael?
didn't.
So you can say it two ways. The more Italian way is Napolitano.
Because we heard it kind of different during at the Heights
hold on.
game, the announcer.
I am Italian, so I thought it was Napolitano. Is that how Napolitano raised that?
Yeah.
But I think on the television, then we watched it, they said Napolitano, I think, right? And I was like, oh my God, I've been saying his name
Yeah, we
wrong.
said his name wrong. I was like, he didn't say anything. He never said anything about it. Coach, I'm going to
I hear a new version of it.
No, that's okay. Coach, I'm going to come back to you because I don't know if you guys see, and Mike, I don't know if you saw, but a couple of weeks ago we said what matchup when they do the crossover games and whatever for the teams when the playoffs start, and we said what game that we have not seen would we want to see, and I said I want to see Woodridge Heights. Not only listen, the distance, you're right on the same street, you're right there, but not only that, like the weapons, like you just mentioned all your weapons, you bring their weapons, Rios, right? Ike Vino, Simmons, all that kind of group, it's just Scalera. It's like, I think this game is just like the star power in this game is just going to be like, oh my God, like, wow, there's just so many skill kids. So Coach, can you talk a little bit about Woodridge and what challenges it's going to be for you guys as a staff and as a team this week?
It's definitely a great matchup. Woodridge is a good football team. They bring a lot to the table. They got a lot of solid skill people, quarterbacks, some good running backs, some good receivers. They're pretty big up front. They got some decent size, some athletes all around the field. They can play a lot of different schemes defensively. Like Coach Carbone said, he's a defensive guy. He does a lot of different things that we're preparing for. We're just sitting here. Actually, we're just worried about Hasbrook Heights this week and what we can do and get our game plan ready and, put our guys in the best spot they can to succeed Friday night.
Michael, I'm going to ask you from a player's perspective, what's like the team's mindset heading into the game this week?
I mean, there's going to be a lot of distractions. They're so close, and we kind of grew up with them they're just a mile away, so we know most of the kids. But our motto is play nameless, faceless opponents. So, kind of staying in our lane and controlling what we can control is how we're going to succeed the most. And kind of staying out of the distraction is where we'll win the game most likely.
Well, Michael, I'm just going to say this, and I know I speak for Jen on this. Just you've had an unbelievable career. I mean, the numbers don't lie. You're a tremendous player, and listen, you still got a lot of football left. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. It's you still guys. Listen, I think you guys, Warriors is a good team too, but I think you guys can make a special run in this section. And like Coach said, you guys are a great team, but we want to congratulate you on an unbelievable career so far.
Let me just give you Michael Napolitano's updated career stats to date. 2,842 yards rushing, 31 touchdowns. Could, if he gets to the 3,000 mark, it's unconfirmed yet, the first player in school history to do so. So not too shabby.
No, not too bad.
Thank you guys very much.
Our pleasure. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and good luck this week.
Thanks for having
me. Thank you.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Jen, have you ever seen me so happy with Hasbrook Heights though? Remember?
I know
I did a 360.
Mentioned your story.
But it's like Napolitano, Culinary, Haynes. There's all these guys. Nick Patella coming. I love this group. I do.
All right. Well, we're going to move on to our next guest, who is an NJIC state tournament team, and that is Waldwick. So let me grab Coach DeStassi first.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, Coach. Good. How are you?
Good. I've got Mason Major too waiting in the.
Oh, okay. That's what I wanted to ask you. Who are the? Is that's Mason's with you?
Yep.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Thank you so much. Hey, Mason. Thanks so much for joining us. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure.
Coach, I'm going to say this: 5 in a row, one of the hottest teams, if not one of the hottest in the NJIC. How are you guys? How confident are you guys right now heading into the postseason?
We feel good. I think we've gotten on a little bit of a roll. We've kind of found some things that we do really well, and we've focused on that. In the past couple of weeks, We've got a really tough opponent. Obviously, we're a little familiar with them. We played them week 0, and we played them a couple times now in the past couple years. So, very well coached. It's going to be a challenge for us. They play incredible defense, like maybe one of the best defenses in the NJIC, in my opinion. So, it's going to be a challenge, but kind of like the what a lot of the coaches are saying, the focus is always kind of got to just be on us and how we can improve this week and execute our game plan and put as much effort into it as we possibly can.
Coach, I'm going to go off script for a second. We had Dylan on, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago now, and I have to tell you, I was so impressed with his. Honestly, Coach, I feel like and I said to him, I feel like you're talking like a coach. Like, how nice is it to have, like, obviously your quarterback is a leader, but like someone who really has like a coaching mindset on the field.
It's great. I mean, you can. From the moment I met him when I took the job last year, my first year, like you knew he had that kind of coaching mentality. He actually goes down. His brother's in 4th grade, and his dad coaches the 3rd and 4th grade team. So he'll go down there on Wednesday nights and he'll coach the 3rd and 4th grade team, and then he'll coach them on Saturdays at junior football. So he just loves football. He's always thinking about it. I know him and Mason spend some of their lunch periods together watching film and stuff. So it's just kind of it's been infectious for our team. You know, a lot of our guys are now like taking to that kind of mindset, and it's been great.
Well, Coach, when he mentioned the coaching thing to us, I said, well, if you ever do coach, you better find a running quarterback like yourself, because you're going to be driving yourself crazy if you don't, you know? So I will go to, I'm sorry.
It's
Oh,
fine.
you're
Yeah,
up. I'm
I
sorry.
apologize. So, Mason, I'm going to come to you next. I apologize going off script there, but, Coach mentioned the Glen Rock defense already. So, my question for you is, how important is it for you guys to get that running success that you really, like, you guys have such a great running game? I mean, one of the best in the state, arguably. How important is it for you to get that going against this really good Glen Rock defense?
I believe we just have to stick to our rules. We have very, very easy rules that if you follow them, any run play will hit hard and hit for many yards. I think whatever they throw at us, if we play with a clear head, I think that no defense can stop us. I think we have the blockers, I think we have the legs, and we have the mindset to run through any team that we play.
And Coach, I'm going to come right back to you. Can you talk a little bit? I know you talked about Glen Rock's defense, but can you talk a little bit more about some of the strengths of this Glen Rock team?
Yeah, I think the big one is just they don't hurt themselves. A lot of times, especially in the playoffs, that's the team that makes the most mistakes, the team that turns the ball over. A lot of times they don't have success in the playoffs, and this Glen Rock team just doesn't do that. So, we're gonna have to be on our A game to make sure that we do everything we can to not hurt ourselves, because they're not going to hurt themselves.
Mason, I'm going to come to you. Can you talk a little bit about the camaraderie of the players on the team?
I think, the team, we have a very good mindset going into the playoffs. I think we've had a good mindset throughout the entire season. Starting the season off 1-3, finishing 6-3. I think we've always just had a positive mindset. Our tough losses against Rutherford, Glen Rock, and Clarkstown North, we've come in on Saturday mornings with a smile on our faces and just ready for the next week, for the next opponent. We're just ready for what comes at us every week.
Awesome. Coach and Mason, thanks so much for joining us tonight, guys, and good luck this weekend.
Thanks for having us,
Thank
guys.
you so much. Bye-bye.
Our
Have a
pleasure.
good one.
Bye-bye.
Okay, well, Jen, one of the hottest teams around, 5 in a row.
Yeah.
You know what they're going to do. And, hey, listen, they could run it with one of the best, like you said, in the league and the state. And, again, it's going to be a great matchup because, Glen Rock, like Coach said, Glen Rock has one of the best defenses around. So that is going to be such a great matchup this weekend.
Well, we're going to roll right into Glen Rock. Speaking of Glen Rock, so let me get our 2 guests. We're going to be joined by Eric and Joe, and I will get them in here first. We have Eric coming in and Joe coming in as well. Oh, and did Eric? Oh, there we are. Hi, guys. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thanks so much for joining us. Eric, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Oh, great.
Okay,
We are joined
perfect.
by, forgive me if I mispronounce your last names, guys, Eric Barreau and Joe Silva, 2 seniors from the Glen Rock football team. Thanks so much for being here, and congratulations on your state tournament berth.
Thank you. Sorry.
Eric, I am going to start with you. So we just had on obviously Waldwick, Dylan Ferrara, Luciano Mayer. They run it right. They're one of the better teams in the league, in the state statistically. With run it that they want to run it. So, what's your thoughts on containing the Waldwick run game?
Stick to our game plan that we have on defense and just tackle the guy who has the ball.
All right, I'm going to come to you, Joe, on this next one. Last year, you guys are a 2 seed, right? You come up short. So, how motivated is the team this year to get back into the playoffs and continue?
It's been something we talked about, all season, getting back to where we were. Something we've been looking forward to, and also, second year in the row, we get to play Waldwick on a Saturday, and we're really excited to do that.
Joe, I'm going to stick with you. Offensively, what do you guys have to do? Like I said, you guys, listen, the talent you guys, I always say this about the talent you guys lost last year, but you know what? You guys still have a lot of talent coming back, especially like in the skills, right? In the skill positions that you guys lost. But listen, it was like a transition that just rolled right over. You guys were back to the same Glen Rock you guys were last year. What are some key points offensively you guys got to do this week versus Waldwick?
I mean, really, it just comes down to the execution. We have the play calling, we have the guys everywhere. It just comes down to if we could make the plays, if we could block, if we could, hold on to the football, if we could make throws and catch the football. That's all it comes down to.
All right, and Joe, I have a last one for you. I've always described you guys this season as like kind of having like flying under the radar, really, right? Like I feel like you guys have this like quiet confidence to you. You're flying under the radar, 6-2. I think you're a really talented team. Do you think that's an accurate description of you guys? Kind of like the cool, calm, collected. I think Coach DeSassi just said it best. Like you never hurt yourselves. You guys just like take care of the ball, and play good, hard defense.
Yep.
Like, do you think that's like an accurate description that you're doing like those little things and just like flying under the radar, but like, continue like, but really, succeeding and doing well?
Yeah, I agree fully. I mean, we're calm, but we're also confident. We walk into every game thinking that we have a pretty good chance of, winning. And that's how just we approach every game. We never go into a situation thinking that, we're gonna lose. So it's just that, and really just how everybody complements each other. A guy makes a play, all right, next play, someone else has to make it,
Eric, I'm going to come to you. So, playoff game, obviously, everyone's always going to say, like, playoff games, you got to amp it up and stuff like that. But home playoff game. So, what do you expect that atmosphere to be?
To me, it's really just another game. We got to go in there. We got to go win. We want to know every week.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Good luck to you. And hopefully we'll see you back.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good one.
Night.
You too.
You too.
Okay, there they are, Glen Rock, Jen. And listen, talk about a defensive team. We say run the ball, play defense.
Mhm.
We're going to see run the ball, play defense in this, right? Because Warwick wants to run it. Listen, hey, Glen Rock's got some good runners too, right? Glen Rock maybe wants to throw it a little more, but listen, their defense is going to get tested, and this is a great Glen Rock defense. So excited to see this one.
All right, we're gonna roll right along. Our next guest is going to be.
We are moving
Linda.
tonight, Jen. We are moving.
We got a lot, so I want to make sure I'm getting everybody in here. So we got to get Coach Tuero. Let me get Coach Tuero in here first. Hey, Coach, how you doing? Oh, we can't hear your audio. Still can't hear you, Coach.
That's good because I can't find my questions. So I look for his questions. I had his questions too. He's going to come back in.
He's going to come back in. So you know what? We will get his two players while he's doing that. And he is Lyndhurst football coach Tuero is joined by Jason Bellinger, and Shadid Smith. So let me get those guys in here. Hi, Jason and Shadid. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you.
Good, how are you?
Good. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's get Coach Tuero now and see how his audio is going.
You got me?
There we go.
There we go.
There
All
we
right,
go.
He's back. Thanks so much for joining us, Coach.
I think he does it on purpose to us.
No, I
think
he does.
I think he does.
Coach, I want to start with you. I have a question. I saw on social media you posted a video, and I'm going to tell you it was about like kind of a look ahead, I guess, that where you guys have come from, like a recap of the season, but over your voiceover. And I have to tell you, Coach, it was so inspirational for me. I wanted to get out there and play after seeing it. I was just hoping you could tell us, like, what prompted that? How did you go? Like, what made you want to kind of do something like that?
I got to be honest with you. I have nothing to do with it. Shadid's uncle has blessed us and has been coming around. I didn't know he has a production. It's your uncle, right, Shah?
Yes, coach. No,
Yeah.
my
So
cousin.
he's been coming around, and he asked me. Shadid had asked me if he can come around and kind of film a little bit. I had no idea the talent and what he'd be bringing to us. And this guy is unbelievable. His name is Ernesto. He's been just blessing our team with these videos. Honestly, that video, he did it. It's over time, but the voiceover, he was like, "Hey, coach, I didn't know what he was doing." He's like, "Coach, can you just send me an audio clip? You were talking to me about the field, about how you love the team." And he's like, just make an audio clip and just send it to me and just talk. So I sent them a 9-minute clip. I just talked about the team. I didn't realize I was just talking, and he used about 40 seconds of it. So he said there's a lot more coming. I think he's going to do like a whole season recap at the end. But oh my God, we are so blessed to have him because it's unreal, right? How cool is it?
It was I'm getting chills just talking about it.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It's just like as a former, I just
Coach, but she's gonna lie to you. Like I was watching it last night, so it was late. So she's like, "What is that? Lower the volume." Then, like after 2 minutes, she's like, "Oh, what is it? Can I?" And then she wants to watch it. Crying about it, but then she wanted to watch it.
I don't remember it that way.
Great. No, it really is. It really is something else. It's cool. It's so cool.
Jason, I'm going to come to you. Great performance, not only by the team, but you had a great performance too, throwing the ball. So now, hey, you guys had your backs against the wall last week. You guys get in. Can you talk a little bit about the performance against Park Ridge?
Yeah, I mean, we all know what was at stake. We all just had to be locked in, have a good mindset, and had to control what we can control, right? Which was win the game, and then let the rest play out for itself.
Shadid, I'm going to come to you next. Let's talk a little bit about Shabazz. What have you guys noticed in your film study so far that, like, what are some things that Shabazz does well?
They're definitely a good team, man. They have good speed, and they have some great players, and we have to be prepared for it.
Coach, I'm going to come back to you, right? So as the 8 seed, so in a lot of people's eyes, I'm not going to say in my eyes, but big underdogs, right? So how do you prepare? Like you prepare different is there a little edge by saying, you know what? Hey, we're going against the number 1 seed. We're the 8 seed. We'll show them. A little different for you preparing, or is it the same?
I mean, listen, we obviously are not stupid. We know that we are the underdogs in this situation, but we're not going to back down. Let's keep it real. Shabazz is probably one of the best teams in Group 2 football. I mean, they're one of the best teams in the entire state of New Jersey. We're going to call it what it is, and I don't sugarcoat that from the kids either. They know it. We see them on tape. They're legit, but we also feel like the phrase goes, and this is one thing I've been saying to the guys. I know we're playing on Saturday, but any given Sunday, right? We got to show up. We got to play the football game. Anything can happen once the game starts going and the clock's ticking. Anything can go your way, and we're going there and we're going to put up, we'll give it our best shot. And at the end of the day, if we win the game, let's go, baby.
But you know what, Coach? And you mentioned this when you were on last time, but that's why you play Westwood, right? Like that's why you do it. And you know what? Look, going into Becton in a big game like that, right? Like going into Park Ridge with your back, you know what I'm saying? Backs, like you're prepared for that. You've seen and listen, like you say, Shabazz, but listen, Westwood is like that game when you always said why you made that game is for like a game like this week.
Oh, no doubt. And not for nothing, Kurt, if we don't play Westwood, we're not in the playoffs, baby.
Yeah.
If we don't schedule that game, and I'm glad that even came up because I wanted to be able to say that. Because I got a lot of crap for playing that game. I got to tell you, not from our people, just from all the coaches in the stands. Playing that, thank God we played that game, because if we didn't play that game, we'd be out of the playoffs. The season would be over.
Yeah, no, we always said like that was so important for you guys for so many reasons. Many reasons, yeah.
Listen, we're playing both. We played Westwood. Now we're playing Shabazz. Both number 1 seeds.
1 seeds.
Yeah.
Both number 1 seeds.
Boys, Shadid and Jason, I have a question for you guys about leadership. You know, Shadid, you are a senior. Jason, you're kind of like, you know, as the quarterback, just, you know, leader by default, quite honestly, right? But you guys have, you know, maybe some younger players who it's their first time, you know, coming to the playoffs. You know, you guys are responsible for kind of like leading this team. So I was wondering, like, how do you take that role, and what are some things you do, you know, to be a good role model and to lead this team into the playoffs? Shadid.
I just try to maintain the juice during practice, keeps everybody's energy up, and just, just try to make sure that everybody's in the right headspace.
Love it. How about you, Jason?
Well, I just gotta, as a quarterback, I just gotta, keep everything like cool, calm, collected, um, and just try and motivate everybody to just, do their 111th, not only from our offense, but for our scout team too, like do their 111th too, so we can get the best look.
Awesome. Coach and Shadid and Jason, thank you guys so much for joining us. We always love having you on. Coach Tuaro, good luck to you guys.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Have a good one.
for having me.
Appreciate, guys.
Have a good one.
Good night.
Okay, so there's Lindner's coming off a huge win at Parkway to get in. And you know what? Hey, listen, that when we talked with Coach and he mentioned the thing about Westwood, that this is where that's gonna pay now. And how crazy that they play both one seeds.
I know, yeah. Yeah, too funny.
But,
all right, well, we're going to move right on to our next guest. We're going to be joined by Coach Dunn from Rutherford. So let me get Coach Dunn in here. All right.
Hey, Kurt and Jen.
What's up, Coach?
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thanks so much for joining us, Coach. I just wanted to make sure you have who do you have joining you tonight?
John Joy.
Is it just John?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. All right. Thanks so much. Hi, John. How you doing? Thanks for joining us.
Good. Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure.
Coach, I'm going to start with you. Can you talk a little bit about the NJIC championship game and how proud are you of this group? Because listen, you guys had Butler's a great team. You guys were right there with them. How proud are you of this team?
Well, I've been very proud of this team. I think it's obviously it's a young group, but our kids play real hard. And as a coach, I think that's what makes me most proud. That we gave them a pretty good run on Friday night and came up short. At the end of the day, I think their experience showed, and especially in the second half. I think in a lot of ways, in some ways, we played better in the first half, but we came away down 6 points at the end of that first half. But in the second half, I think their experience showed. And but overall, it's been a real good group to coaches for 2025 Bulldogs.
John, I'm going to come to you next. How do you guys move on from that, NJIC championship and now move on to the state playoffs and put your focus there?
We knew at some point, something was going to, give us a little punch in the mouth. And obviously that Woodridge game, that's what we thought was going to be it. But at the end of the day, we still won that game. And, in some ways, I think that we needed a little bump in the road in order right before the state playoff, to make even a bigger run and a stronger run to, beat these all again. Like Butler was a very good team. And, in the state playoff, we're going to keep playing very good teams. So I think it was just good to have that experience under our belt and to go make a run the state playoff.
Nice. Coach, I'm going to come right back to you with my next question. You guys drew an undefeated Hoboken team, a team with a great tradition. But what are some things that this year's Hoboken team does well?
Well, they got athletes everywhere right off the bat. They're big up front and they're fast. So not a great matchup for any team when you're going against an undefeated team with that kind of talent. So they're also a young team too, believe it or not. They got most of that team coming back. So I think it's going to be a really good game. We're playing Saturday at noon this week, but I think it's going to be a really good game at Tryon Field. We're happy we're home though.
Yeah. John, I'm going to come to you. Last year, tough loss. Bernard's in the playoff game. Obviously, we know what a good program they are. How motivated are you guys now, like you're saying, to get back to the state playoffs? Does that game, play a little in your minds of what happened last year going now into the playoffs again this year?
It definitely, coming back to the state playoffs, it definitely brings back a memory from that game. And, just from, not only being there, but also playing in it, it kind of brings a little sour taste to your mouth. And just knowing that, maybe if I could have done maybe something better, we could have won that game. But now it's just this year, and we focus week by week. Right now, we're only focused on Hoboken. We're not very looking too much ahead, and we know what we need to do to win, and just we do not want the same thing to happen to us as we did last year.
All right, Coach and John, thanks so much for joining us tonight, guys. We really appreciate it, and good luck.
Thank you,
guys. Have a good night.
Good
You
luck.
too. Good night.
There you go, brother, for Bulldogs, Jen. And I'm telling you, you're going to see when I pick in my bracket. I love this team. I really do. And listen, we could talk about next year and we'll go there next year, but I'm telling you, this team is going to make a major run, Jen, in this section.
All right. Well, let's get on to our. You know what? I forgot to put up our stats last time, and I'm not going to forget to do it again.
Of course you're not.
Really quickly. So let's get our quarterback leaders for the week.
Stats.
Quarterback leaders for the week here. Quarterbacks. We have Talib Bakula from Garfield with 254 passing yards. Miles Balkin, we just had Rutherford on, 221 passing yards. Again, the stats for these kids, and I know it was a loss, but the stats were unbelievable. Weehawken quarterback Dylan Hablitz with 177 passing yards. Our rushing leaders for the week 8, Hasbrook Heights, Michael Napolitano, who we also had on this evening with 202 yards. Dylan Cerciello, who we've had on in the past with Coach Catrona, also a tackle leader in many weeks, right?
Yep.
201 yards. And Dylan Ferrara, 191 yards for Waldwick. Our receiving leaders for week 8, Giovanni Rodriguez from Garfield with 129, Donovan Alves from Weehawken with 111 receiving yards, and Evan Croker, our top dog of the week for Butler in the NJIC championship with 109 receiving yards. And our defensive tackle leaders, we had Michael Collinari from Hasbrook Heights with 15, Max Reiner.
Every week.
I know.
Every week.
These are a lot of repeat offenders here. Max Reiner from a lot of Cresskill kids on the board. Max Reiner with 14 from Cresskill, Hudson Adika with 13 from Cresskill, and 12 each for Noah Cruz of Garfield, Alan Frias of Lyndhurst, and Daniel May of New Milford. So there we have our stat leaders for week 8. So we're going to move on to our picks for the week. So let's bring in our guest pickers. Actually, are Kenny of Kurt's other half of K&K. And even though he picks every week, this week we're going to
bring him in live.
Bring him in. So
I just want to bring him in because when he picks against teams, I want the teams to know who he is. You know what I'm saying? So they'll know who he is. You can get him in. Can you bring him in?
I have him in.
Okay. I do not see him.
Okay.
There
That's
he
my
is.
fault. I took the video off while I was backstage. Apologize.
Alrighty. Okay. Hello, Kenny. Thank you so
Hey.
much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. If I can have 10 seconds, I want everybody to know the hard work you all put in. I'm down here in Maryland, you know, honored to be part of the pick segment each week. But I got purple on. I'm an alumni for Garfield and the NJIC, the teams that I grew up on. It's a pleasure to watch what you guys put out there as a fan. And I know the coaches, I know the players, I know the parents, I know everybody agrees with me. So I just wanted to get that on the air that they know how much hard work you all put in each week for this show.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Our slate this week is a mix of some regular season games that some NJIC teams have picked up for this week. And then, of course, we'll denote the state tournament games. So our first matchup is Lodi at Cliffside Park.
I did my homework. I went on kurtnj.com. He said, you'll get some stats. And I went on there. And I know a lot of the NJIC stats from your shows, but some of the other teams outside the NJIC, I didn't know. But Lodi, looking for their first win. They have a freshman quarterback. And they're traveling to Cliffside Park, I believe. But those fans are going to be loyal. They're going to be behind Lodi to get that first win, something to build on next year with their freshman quarterback. And out of all the teams that are listed in these brackets, Cliffside Park didn't have any stats. So I got to go Lodi in this one. I'm going to score of 19-14.
I'm actually going Cliffside Park. I know Lodi has struggled a little bit this year, had trouble putting some points on the board. I'm going to pick Cliffside Park here with the home team.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'm down 2 games now to you.
Oh, I
Jen,
did forget
so
to mention
you
that.
meant the stats. So
the one graphic I didn't have enough
Go,
time to
Jen.
do
Go,
was to
Jen.
put myself
So you know
in
what?
first
I got to
place.
go a little different. I'm going Lodi. Give me Kwasemi Julian Valero on defense. I'm getting Lodi to win their first game this week.
All right.
By the way, I'm underdog Kenny, so you might hear some underdogs. Let's go.
Our next game pits 2-6 Pal Park at 2-7 Wallington.
Yeah, you had Wallington on the beginning of the show. I enjoyed listening to Coach, and they look like they got a future that they're building over there. And Palisade Park, you've had them on as well recently with 2 wins out of their last 3 games. This is going to be a tough one. I think Wallington at home is going to edge out Powell Park like 20-13 score.
All right, I agree.
And the fire engines will be roaring.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kenny. I'm going with Wallington here. As we mentioned, they're like a play or 2 away from having a couple edition wins, but Powell Park is playing well as well. But I'm giving my edge to Wallington.
Carson's checking in. What's going on, Carson?
What's up, Carson?
Wallington last week ran for over 300 yards. Ibrahim Hussein, give me the fire engine, Shen. I'm going Wallington too.
All right, our next matchup is Tenafly at Saddlebrook.
Long friend of the All-In high school sports. I think from day one, Coach Catrona over in his Woodridge days. 2-game win streak for Saddlebrook. Let's go. Led by your boy over there, Kurt Cerciello. You had him on last week or 2 weeks ago. Tenafly, this is interesting. Tenafly still has 2 more games on the schedule, including a Thanksgiving game. I think this game's going to mean more for Saddlebrook. I'm going Saddlebrook in this one by a score of 20-14.
Tenafly is just down the road from where I teach. In fact, my students from Alpine will, if they go to public school, will attend Tenafly.
See you never know who's watching.
I know, you're right. But ironically, we do safety day at Alpine School, and Coach Catrona has made 2 appearances at our safety day to show the dogs. But I think that I think Saddlebrook is peaking at the right time. I feel like we've seen a definitive incline in their play, and as a credit to, of course, the players and how hard they're working. But Coach Catrona, I think they're peaking. I think they get their 3rd win. I'm going Saddlebrook.
Kenny, just like you said, they won 2 in a row, but it really could have been 4 in a row. They lost 2 heartbreaking games. Last week, guys, they ran for 415 yards and 7 touchdowns. Vidiello, Cerciello, I'm going Saddlebrook. I'm sorry. Yeah, Saddlebrook 3 in a row.
Okay, our next matchup is Clifton at Garfield.
Yeah, hats off to Garfield. They're going to try and get to 500 here. Coach T's first year there, they had a nice turnaround season, a couple tough losses. I know they lost to Becton in heartbreak fashion a couple weeks ago. They just missed the playoffs. Clifton looks like they're struggling, but they are a Group 5 school and lost to some powerhouses. This game's going to be closer than people think, but I got to go with the purple and gold in this one in my heart. But I'm going close, 23-20 in this one, Garfield.
Yeah, I mean, Kenny, you said it perfectly. I'm not going to repeat the things you said. But yeah, for exact same reasons, my summary is exactly the same. I'm going Garfield.
I'll tell you this. I remember my parents saying back in the day when there was a Clifton Garfield game, like a Thanksgiving game, I mean, you'd have 10, 12,000 people. You couldn't get in.
Yeah.
You couldn't get in. And I mean, you don't have a lot of those games like that anymore at Thanksgiving, but tradition, this was an old school rivalry, like big teams. They were both state championship teams back then. Like you said, Clifton struggling a little bit, so a rough season. But Garfield's had a rough, 3 losses, right? And how many teams have had just heartbreak after heartbreak, right? After heartbreak of those 3 games. But I just think too much. You're Henny Rodriguez, Noah Cruz defensively. You know what? I think Coach T, I think this game means a lot more to Garfield. Get to 500 and lead into next year championship aspirations. Give me Garfield.
All righty. Our next matchup is Lakeland at Cresskill.
This one's tough. I think I'm going to go with a little small upset here. Lakeland looks very young, but very talented. They got a quarterback to watch, sophomore, last name Struble, 1,240 yards, 300 yards, rushing, 7 touchdowns. I think Lakeland looks a little young and tough, and looked at their schedule. Cresco been struggling a little bit. I'm going to go against the NJIC here, and I'm going to take Lakeland. And I hope I'm wrong against all the NJIC teams I pick against, but I'm going to take Lakeland in this one. 27-23, a higher scoring type of game.
Well, Cresco was involved in kind of that defensive game last week against Sea Caucus, So, that's always I know they didn't put a lot of points on it, but they didn't allow a lot of points.
Right.
And I think that's in their favor here, and I'm going to go Cresco.
Lakeland lost 4 in a row, but like you said, their schedule is very hard. They're losing to very good teams, bigger schools, playoff schools. And the kid, like you said, the kid Struble, the quarterback there, he's a dual threat for them. But I just think Lou and Connolly, I think that's the combination they get. I think they get back on track offensively. And Max Reiner, Jen, you talk about defensive guy stat list. Every week he's up there. I'm going to take Cresco.
Alrighty. Our next one is St. Mary's at Immaculata.
When I looked at Immaculata's stats and I called Jen, Kurt, they have a senior running back, 1,218 yards, 24 touchdowns, and a sophomore running back behind them with 600 yards and 14 touchdowns. Don't open the concession stands in St. Mary's this week because this game is going to be over, like Kurt said, with St. Mary's and New Milford done in an hour. This one might be done in a half hour. But I can't go against St. Mary's. My dad, 1947 alumni, St. Mary's Rutherford. I'm going St. Mary's to get their statement win this week against the Immaculata heading into the playoffs. And led by, Cologne, Messina, Huertas, and of course, the run game's going to be on fire there with Bruton. I'm going with the upset, 28-21, St. Mary's.
I think this one might be a shootout, but I'm going with Immaculata on this one.
Okay, be more of a shootout than last year. I mean, it was 49-42. That was a shootout.
It could be. It could.
I know.
I think it's on pace to be the same type of game.
St. Mary's had an emotional win last year. A lot of those Garfield kids, they needed that game. Messina with the big play. We had both of them on him and Hortez. But listen to Immaculate's offensive output the last couple of games, Jen. You ready? They scored 49, 42, 63, and 48. I think this run game is going to be too tough. I hate doing it. I'm going Immaculata.
Okay, our next matchup is...
Now we start the playoffs.
Into state tournament time. Number 7 seeded Park Ridge at number 2, Kinnelon.
Yeah. Kinnelon's only loss is to Powerhouse Shabazz, who Lyndhurst has in their matchup. Park Ridge is going to count on Patrick Randolph, and Patrick Randolph's one of the best in the NJIC. He's going to need to be better than the best in the NJIC. Kinnelon looks tough. They're led by Matt Siciliano, 1,300 total yards. And can they put up more than 20 is my question for Park Ridge. I'm going to say, unfortunately, no. I'm going to go Kinnelon 21-13 in this one and advance to the second round.
Have I been talking about Kinnelon all year?
You have.
I have been talking about Kinnelon all year. I got a little inside information on Kinnelon as a team, having really like a landmark season there. So congratulations to them. I'm going Kinnelon in this one as well.
By the way, how do the graphics look? With the numbers,
They
pretty
look
good, right?
Yeah.
I like it.
Patrick Randolph, listen, they got to get their run game going, just like you said. I mean, that's their bread and butter. They run him. They want to get him the ball. They have to be better. Lyndhurst shut him down last week. And like you said, only lost to Shabazz. Last week, they ran it 39 times for 302 yards. And Kenny, how in the world can you go against a Siciliano? I mean, you know what I'm saying? How? I think Kinnelon's a little better. I'm going to take Kinnelon.
All right, our next matchup in North 2, Group 1. Sorry, I'm having a little problem with my mouse there. Is Sea Caucus at New Providence.
Yeah, don't let the record fool you here. 5-3 Secaucus, lost some tough games, but they're getting hot at the right time. I looked at their schedule. I looked at their wins over Bogota and Cresskill, both in the playoffs. Cresskill just missed the playoffs, but Bogota's in the playoffs. One of the best in the league, and such an intelligent young man. Brandon Vega is going to lead the way for Secaucus. New Providence is bringing defense, though. They didn't allow more than 14 points in a game. 14-12, Sea Caucus. All they got to do is get to 14, and they get it done.
All right, so you're picking Sea Caucus, Kenny?
Yes.
Okay. I just think it's really hard to go into someone else's house when they're undefeated and come away with that win. It's interesting, the history between these two teams in the state tournament. It always cracks me up how that happens. Coach Voorhees was talking about. I just think that's going to be a tall order for Sea Caucus here. New Providence playing with a lot of confidence, 8-0. I'm going to pick New Providence.
Jen, you just made it great. First off, Sea Caucus have an unbelievable season. Huge win versus Cresskill. They won 3 out of 4, and obviously everything goes through Brandon Vega over there. Okay, offensive, defensively, like they said, the kid don't come off the field, right? But you got to get on a bus. You got to travel, right? And if this game was in Sea Caucus, I would pick Sea Caucus. I'm so close to still picking Sea Caucus because Sea Caucus, when you go on the road, you got to be physical. Sea Caucus is going to be physical. I'm going to take New Providence. They got good balance. They're undefeated, like you said, a good defense. But I'm telling you, I will not be shocked at all if Secaucus wins this game. I'm so close to picking. I'm going to take the home team, but I'm not confident about it. But I will take New Providence.
All right. Our next matchup is Lyndhurst at Shabazz.
Yeah, another, I mentioned Coach Catrona earlier, another great friend to the show, Coach Toro from day one. Much respect. I met them a few years back when we were at the Waldwick Garfield game and met some of the Lyndhurst coaches at that game a few years ago. They're heading into Shabazz. Their only losses to St. Peter's Prep, Jen and Kurt. They're bringing incredible defense to this game. This game's going to be tough, but I think it's going to be closer than people think. Coach Toro, I'm going to give you some bulletin board material. Maryland thinks you're going to fall just short. Put that on the bulletin because I want to be wrong more than any other game in this first round. I want to be wrong. Go get that win against Shabazz, but I think you're going to fall just short, 17-14.
Coach Toro was very honest about, how good Shabazz is, right? And, they're one of the best teams, as he mentioned, in Group 2. I think it's going to be, again, it's a tough matchup for Lyndhurst, that 1-8 game. But like we said, he prepared that
play the game,
exactly.
baby.
That's why exactly. So, but I'm picking Shabazz in this one.
Look, Lyndhurst's performance last week versus Park Ridge was unreal. That defense shutting down Patrick Randolph, only 50-something yards. Cano again went off 100. What did he have? 128. And listen, the pass game with Bellinger opened up, right? Bellinger had probably his best game this year, and that's what they're going to need this week. Listen, this team is undefeated. Shabazz. I'm sorry, like you said, only one loss is to St. Peter's Prep. Who are they? Only top 3 team in the state of New Jersey in parochial A, right? Listen to what they do though, Jen. They just listen. They just run the ball. They throw the ball. They got great balance. Their defense. They got a kid, Best Zykir Best. Kid is all over the field defensively. Listen, I think Lyndhurst hangs with them tough. Again, Lyndhurst will be physical. They're not going to back down. I think Shabazz is going to have a little too much, but hey, I think Lyndhurst is going to go in there and give them a good fight. But I'm going to take Shabazz.
All right, next one, Kenny. Becton at Hanover Park.
You guys are really making this tough on me, and another great friends to the show that I love here. But you know what? Becton's got to get this game into the 30s, in my opinion, Jen and Kurt, if they want to beat Hanover Park. Elijah Davis in the air attack. Take some shots downfield. If you could connect on a couple of them early, maybe momentum is your way. But Hanover Park is undefeated. They're a senior-led offense. They got veteran leadership. I think they're going to be too much for Becton in the end, unfortunately, and I'm going to go 34-21. Becton falls short of that 30 range where they need to get in this game. More bulletin board material. Coach Mark, put it on the bulletin. Maryland is going with Hanover Park.
All right, Hanover Park, just another program steeped in football tradition,
Yep.
right? Strong year after year. I'm picking Hanover Park in this one.
What a season Becton's had so far, led by Eli. Like you said, he had a big game. And I don't agree with Kenny a lot, but I do agree with him on this one, Jen. We always talk about the Becton defense, right? But, I mean, we have to be realistic. Listen to the points that so far Hanover scored some games this year. 42, 63, 50, 53. I mean, you can't tell this defense to just, hold them to 6 points. I mean, it's just that's not going to happen. It has to be a higher scoring game. I just don't know if Becton can do that. I think going on the road again, you got to travel. Again, I think Becton's got big things coming next year, but I think Hanover Park gets it done this year.
All right, our next matchup is actually an NJIC matchup again. We got Pagoda at New Milford.
This is unfortunate that you got to pick against one of these two teams, and much respect to both of these teams this year. This could be the game of the first round of all the games. This could come right down to the last seconds, and I think it is going to come down to the last seconds. And Pagoda's up and coming with the Williams brothers, but New Milford's got the one kid that you brought on, the one young man. 2 times he's been on the show. He's done an intro, Cody St. Hilaire. He's going to have his New Milford moment in this game. And New Milford's going to come away with a 27-24 victory late in the fourth quarter.
We watched Jaden with a Y Gonzalez in the Woodridge game,
Yep.
right? Just like
Unstoppable.
Just take over, he's going to be tough. But you got, Kobe St. Hilaire, like you said, on New Milford, who's rushed for, it's over 1,000 yards now in
Over
his
1,000,
5 games,
yeah,
right? In just
over
5
1,000.
games, he's achieved over 1,000 yards. So, who do I have, Kurt?
Nobody.
I don't have anybody. I don't know what to do in this one. I really don't. It's tough for me. I'm gonna stick with the home. It's so close. I'm gonna go though New Milford. Yeah, I'm gonna go Kobe St. Hilaire kind of gets back on track on this one. Not that he's ever truly been off track, but
I said this before, the amount of talent. Jaden Gonzalez, Jason Alvarado, Kobe St. Hilaire, Jake Johnson, the other Johnson. I mean, you got talent all over this, field. I just think the physicality, both teams are physical, like you said, but I think at home, I think New Milford's going to, say, listen, we're just going to run it. And you know what? And we're going to talk about this going forward, Jen. Listen, we don't know the weather. It's not supposed to be great, right? Hey, run the ball, man. You could run the ball. And, hey, you put that ball in Johnson's hand and you give it to St. Hilaire. I'm going New Milford.
Kenny, I'm sorry. Who was your pick? I missed it.
I did New Milford in this
New
one.
Milford also. Okay. All right. Our next one is Hawthorne at Butler.
Congratulations to Butler and Coach Luciani and Butler over there winning the NJIC. No hangovers here. Hawthorne's going to come in with a loose mentality here. They played early in the season to a 28-14 loss, so played them decently tough in that game. But Butler's not going to let the hangover happen. Smith at quarterback won't let that happen. The senior captain, Coach Luciani's not going to let that happen. But I will say this, going to see the same result, 28-14 Butler.
Yeah, it's Coach Luciani said it himself. He was really hoping he wouldn't draw somebody they already played. I mean, what's
Yep.
the likelihood of that? So interesting with the matchup. But I guess you feel like they've seen you, they've seen what you've done. But I just think Butler has too much. And what do I say every week? David Smith is a difference maker.
I'm going to say this. I don't know if you guys know this. This, like we said, these teams played each other in week 2. Did you know this, though, guys? Hawthorne had the lead in that game. That game was tied at half. This game was tied in the fourth quarter.
I'm going to say this, though, that we have talked to Coach Luciani about, and even David Smith, and that they are, you would say they're a much changed team
100%.
since then. Yeah, because I think we were all a little surprised
100%.
at some of the,
Their quarterback, Dylan Mejia, unbelievable player. We see him every week, throwing it, running it. But Butler's got a quarterback too, and that's Mr. David Smith. And you know what? I am going to agree with Coach Luciani on this when he said he's the best player in the NJIC. At home, this is for Jack and Eli on the blue turf. Michelle, let's get our run going because you know what? It's not all about NJIC final. You know what? Defending sectional champs, and you know what? They're looking to get another one. Give me
all
Butler.
Right. Our next game is Hoboken at Rutherford.
I got to give a call. I got to give the NJSIAA messed up in this one, in my opinion. Hoboken, a 5 seed, beat Becton in week 1, 34-7. Some of the stats I got again with these kids, Isaiah Blanks at quarterback, 1,421 yards passing, 16 touchdowns passing, 8 touchdowns rushing. Devin McMillan, 1,022 yards rushing, 12 touchdowns rushing, 3 receiving. And Jalen Walker, 261 yards with another 10 touchdowns. So he's a power back there. Very underrated team. They get Rutherford in the first round. Neither one of these two teams deserve to lose. Of course, you got Balkman, Joya. They go in, they lose. What's their mentality going to be going into the playoffs after losing a heartbreaker at home? Any other team in this bracket, I would have Rutherford beaten. I can't believe I'm doing this because I picked Rutherford to win the NJIC. I'm going with Hoboken here because this is a team that's got a lot to prove being a 5 seed at 9-0 and showing that they belong near the top of the seedings in this bracket, not a 5 seed.
Another team with a strong football tradition as well, and coming in 9-0, you have a lot of confidence. But, I just think, I know we keep saying, yeah, Rutherford's young, but you know what? They've thrown that out. They've thrown that back in our face all season long. I think they bounced back from the NJIC. You know, we had John Joya on with Coach Dunn this evening, and I think that they have moved on and they're ready to move on. And you know, what did he say to them? You want to win now? And it didn't happen in the NJIC, but they still have state tournament aspirations.
100%.
So again, on that home field, I think that they use what they learned in the NJIC to get past a very good Hoboken team.
Listen, this is a great first round. You talk about great. This is an unbelievable.
Yeah.
This isn't like a first round. I mean, this is like a sectional final
Yeah,
matchup.
yeah.
Seriously. I mean, you know, Hoboken undefeated. Jen, they haven't scored less than 24 in a game, haven't given up more than 17 in a game. And you mentioned the names, Kenny, all the balance on that team, right? But listen, I just love the Rutherford's toughness, right? And Miles Balkin, look at that game he had last week. 221 passing, 2 touchdowns. 93 yards on the ground. There was another element that they ran him a lot, you know, designed runs for him in the QB run game with a touchdown. You know what? I just think Rutherford keeps this physical. I think the difference here, I think Rutherford's pass game makes a difference later on. Rutherford beats Hoboken. By the way, we're getting breaking news. Michael Ronquillo saying Dodgers, Blue Jays 2-2. Love it. We can't watch
Thank
it.
you.
You get the updates.
Alrighty. Our next game is Waldwick at Glenrock. Another 2 NJIC teams pitted against each other.
It's a shame that these two teams got to be up against each other in the first round, and we got to pick against one of these two teams because I think the winner of this game, has a really, really strong chance of winning the states. And that includes Waldwick as a 7 seed because of one guy, Dylan Ferrara. And we know his stats. I'm not going to, I'll let Kurt talk a little bit more about him. But Glenrock's got a senior-led offense, and, they're good on defense. But I'm going the 7 seed upset here. Waldwick is rolling at the right time. And I'm going to go a little lower score than people think. I'm going to go 20-17 with the upset, Waldwick on the road.
What would I pick, Kurt?
Nobody.
This is another one that I can just see going either way. It's a hard one for me to choose here. You know, you got Dylan Ferrara versus Brendan Burkhardt at the quarterback here. You got I just don't know. I have been saying all season long though about Glenrock kind flying under the radar. I think Waldwick is peaking at the right time. Is there a hotter team than Waldwick right now? I don't think so. You know what though? I do like that quiet confidence of Glenrock. I'm going to go Glenrock in this one. It's going to be interesting to see the high-powered offense versus the staunchy defense.
Listen, Waldwick, 5 in a row, 6 out of 7. Listen to their points in this win streak. 42, 41, 53, 21, and 41. You mentioned Dylan Ferrera, right, Kenny? For the year, 1,480 yards rushing, 18 touchdowns. His sidekick ain't that bad either, Luciano Mayer, 863 with 11 touchdowns. So you need a defense to stop this. And when you talk about a defense, Jen, Glenrock's got the defense, right? You got those linebackers, Barrett, Boycich, Spitaleri. What's the weather, right? Like, is it muddy conditions? It's supposed to rain. What's the muddy? You know what, though? Who'd you pick?
I picked Glenrock.
Good, because I just picked up a game. Give me Waldwick.
Let's go, Kurt.
Give me that run game. You know what? Hey, run Ferrera. Just don't even throw it. Do it like Michigan, Ohio State. Run it 50 times. And you know what? Impose your will. Get out of there. And let's go, Waldwick.
My bold prediction, that winner of this game will be in the group final. The winner of that game will get
This
right
game
through
might
the final.
40 minutes.
All right, our last NJIC matchup is in North 2 Group 1, number 7 Woodridge at number 2 Hasbrook Heights.
Yeah, you had the coaches, the players on. Much respect to both of these teams. Both of these teams could easily be NJIC, playoff and champs as well. Heights, the sophomore trio you had on last week, I think is going to be the difference in this one on defense. And much respect to our guy, Mr. Guy Bertola. Got to send him some love. And I'm going to go Heights in a high-scoring game. They've been putting up a lot of points. I'm going 34-23. Heights advances in convincing fashion.
I've been a little surprised on Woodridge on the losing end of some of their games recently here at the end of the season. I just think Heights is playing a little more consistently. I mean, what do we talk about their weapons every week? We don't. I'm not going to mention all the names again. I know you're going to do it. We already mentioned some of those names. I'll leave that to you. But I'm going to go with Heights here.
I am going to mention all those weapons. But before I mention it, I'm going to tell you this, because I'm going to mention offensive weapons, right? But there's 3 kids that I want, and there's going to be more, but the 3 kids that I want to just say a name, right? Nicholas Mabel, Michael Prado, and Michael Culinary. Every week, Jen, you do stats, and we watch these games, and they're on every tackle. I mean, these guys, and they're going to be busy because, again, I don't know how many, you said Bogota and New Milford, and I read names. But again, Scalera, Rios, Icavino, right? Simmons over there, the big tight end. Then you come over here and you got Napolitano, right? Haynes, Brady Shine, Nipatella. I mean, and Jen, I want to see this game. I mean, the rivalry, they're right there. But I'm telling you, I love this Woodridge team. I love this Heights team. But it is hard to go into Heights on a Friday night in a playoff game. Give me Heights. I think Heights is offense. I think it's going to be a little high scoring. Give me Heights.
All right. And there we have our picks for the week of the NJIC here. Are we going to roll into brackets?
Yeah, let's do it real quick. Let's just, you know what? Let's just do the winners of the brackets.
Okay.
Let's just do like North 1, Group 1, who we have coming out.
All right.
Because it's late.
It's very
Mine's
late,
out of order either. I even do Group 5.
Didn't know we were doing that, so I got to get my sheets for that because I had them written down. Okay, I'm good. I found them.
All right.
Hold on. Okay, let's do North 1, Group 1. Kenny?
North 1, Group 1, Caldwell. I'll throw a sleeper out there, Waldwick.
Or just
No. That's North 1, Group 1.
Oh, North 1, Group 1. Damn it, they're out of order. North 1, Section 1, is that Butler?
Yes.
Yep.
Butler. Champs, sleeper in that division, I'm going to give you Wallkill Valley.
Okay, I got Butler.
I got Butler over Wallkill Valley.
All right, Section 2, Group 1.
Okay, I got Cedar Grove winning this one. Cedar Grove, and my sleeper is my sleeper Heights. Heights is my champ. Cedar Grove is the sleeper.
I got Heights winning this one.
I got Heights over Cedar Grove.
Kurt's looking on my sheets here.
All right, Section 1, Group 2.
Section 1, Group 2. I got Caldwell in this one, and they're going to be. I got Caldwell in this one. My sleeper here though is Waldwick.
I have Ramsey. Winning it with a matchup against Westwood, who they played earlier in the season. Beat them, lost to them pretty handily, but there's a little history, I feel like, between those teams, right? But
yep.
I hope Coach Bear is watching because I'd love to get an absolutely. But I'm going to go Ramsey here.
I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go Westwood over Ramsey.
All righty. Section 2, Group 2.
I got Shabazz, Bernards. My sleepers are all the NJIC teams in this bracket.
I got Shabazz over Hanover Park in the finals.
Not me. Coach Dunn, Miles Balkin, let's go, baby. I'm high on you, and I'm just calling this right now. Next year, Rutherford wins the NJIC, Rutherford wins the section, and Rutherford wins the whole damn thing. They're going to be state champs. But this year, they're winning the section. I've got Rutherford over Hanover Park.
All right, Section 1, Group 3. Kenny?
Altapan's going to be your champs. Your sleeper's going to be Montvale. Coach DeBonta. Jen's got some ties over there.
Yep, Coach DeBonta would love to hear that. I'm going Old Tapan over Wayne Hills.
I got
kind of the
That's what I got
resurgence
too.
of Wayne Hills.
Same thing. Old T over Wayne Hills.
All right, Section 2, Group 3.
I got West Morris over Warren Hills. My sleeper is Warren Hills, the 7th seed.
I have a final of West Morris, West Essex. Just really hard for me to not circle West Essex on this one. So, but I
can't believe I didn't go again.
I'm with you, Jen. I'm going West Morris over your West Essex.
All righty. And then Section 1, Group 4.
You're going to get your Ramapo Highlands matchup that we've all wanted and been waiting for. And your sleeper's going to be Wayne Valley.
Yep, I think it's going to be a Ramapo Northern Highlands rematch as well, and I'm going with Ramapo.
I'm going Ramapo over Northern Highlands, and you know that game's going to be another somehow game of the year.
All right, Section 2, Group 4.
I got Phillipsburg versus Montgomery, and I got my sleeper as Ridge. Phillipsburg's your champs.
Me too. I have Phillipsburg winning this section as well.
I have Phillipsburg over Woodbridge.
Section 1, Group 5.
Going to be a battle of the oranges, but your champs are going to be the 3 seed East Orange in a classic. Part 2, because they played each other last year.
I have PCTI over West Orange in this one.
I don't have anything because I didn't fill out the bracket. So I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to go West Orange over PCTI.
All right, Section 2, Group 5.
I got Piscataway over Bridgewater Raritan in the final. My sleeper's a good friend over there on the roof, Union City. Tough place to play.
Coach Valdez. I have Union City just because of my respect for Coach Valdez over Piscataway.
You know what's funny? Look at the first round matchup. I mean, that was best
I
matchup.
know.
We have the Irvington and
Yeah,
Union City.
yep,
Right? We always had that. I'm going to go Bridgewater Raritan over Piscataway, and I'm going to take Bridgewater Raritan. I didn't fill out that bracket.
All righty. Kenny, thank you so much for joining us as a guest picker, making a live appearance this week. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you always having me be a part of the show, and it's nice to be here live. And again, thank you so much for everything you do for the NJIC. Somebody living in Maryland gets to follow Garfield each week, and it's much appreciated.
We want to thank all of our guests, so many guests that we had this evening. I'm just going to run through it real quickly. We highlighted so many programs tonight: Wallington, Butler, Bogota, New Milford, Sea Caucus, Hasbrook Heights, Woodridge, Beckton, Glenrock, Waldwick, Lyndhurst, Rutherford. I don't think I missed any, but thank you so much, coaches, for your time. I know we were running over. We really appreciate you coming on.
And I want to give a
highlighting your
shout out to Sean.
programs. Yeah, of
for
course.
staying with
Yes,
us. Sean,
Sean,
thank you very much for everything. You do a great job back there. And hey, let's watch some playoff football. And we'll see you guys
See you next week.
Next week.